and welcome to Roll for Story, a Claude Coast arc. We're doing a bit of a flashback episode so that we can catch up on the events what we missed previously before everyone got whisked away to the City of Brass. And effectively, you guys have just woken up, and this is the day before you went back to the casino. Because, of course, Chad was saying he's going to prepare a spell, the gate spell. So you haven't met Opal, you haven't met the Syndicate Apogee, and you certainly are still in need of a lot of gold as well. Potentially to buy more magic items, potentially to cover the costs of any expeditions you want to do. A lot of people have chores they want to do today, including a meeting with the Vizier, which was delivered in an envelope by one of the royal guards. And of course, it did say you could bring along extras.
Hey, Chris.
What?
D10,000. Let's find out how much that wand is worth.
I think
Today.
I did it for this day, I swear.
No, we just skipped and just went straight to because you were trying to hurry us along at the end of the episode.
All right, well, more expensive than it's ever been.
No.
I'm sorry, yeah. That Wonder is stubbornly expensive. Probably for good reason. It's got some good effects on there. But stay here long enough, I'm sure you'll eventually get it for a bargain.
Eventually.
Okay. Well, yeah, come out, clear sky, baking hot heat. But yeah, go ahead. What do you guys want to do first? There's also the arena as well at some point. Whichever you want to do first, really. I guess if the Vizier is in the evening, you're probably going to do other things during the day anyway. So
Oh boy.
What's the plan of action?
Well, we've got obviously we could go see Irina 2, the salty one, and deal with that situation, see what the truth is behind that matter. Maybe take it in a few battles at the arena, see how that goes. That's just one idea.
Well, I'm pretty much out of gold.
How are
really
you out of gold?
Because I had to buy the bag of holding.
I think he's got a gambling problem.
But surely you're out of chat coins and not gold.
I only have Chad coins, which to be fair would change to about 1,000 gold. Give or
Do you
take.
need them?
Not
you
really.
could just change them back.
Yeah.
And how much exactly do they translate from?
4 times the amount, 10% off.
As in from chat coins to gold, or gold to chat coins?
Yeah.
From gold to chat coins, or chat coins to gold?
From Chad coins to gold, it's 4 times the amount, and then they take a 10% cut.
So if you had 1 chat coin, you'd get 4 gold back.
And then 10% taken off, which is like 0.4 gold. So it'd be 1 gold because that.
I don't care about the 10%. That we can work out later. All we know is it's 1 to 4. Perfect.
Are you telling me you want me? Do you want me to give you 1 Chad coin so you can exchange it? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying you're in Egypt for spending all your money.
Well, we got the bag of holding. We found out potentially where the Star Sapphire is. You got the Cloak of Shadows.
To be fair, a lot of that money went back to the party.
Yeah, and I managed to trade some of it in and got this really cool horn. which if you blow on it, summons allies.
Feel the tone and test it out.
Do you want to test it out? If we're not going to use it today.
I mean, that's probably not a smart thing to do if it does work in the middle of a city.
Yes, please don't
Actually,
go drawing attention to us.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not in the casino either, because it'll see anyone other than us as enemies. Probably.
Yeah,
I've-
we may
I've-
need it, obviously, if this old dragon thing blows up in our face if we can't get the Star Sapphire, so
Yeah.
save it for an emergency.
That's
Yeah.
probably a
You're
good
immune.
idea.
So,
What else did
Or
I...
if we get really drunk.
Oh,
Yuriun
that
speaks
would
up
be
and says,
quite
"Well,
fun.
you know, there's one good place to test it. Would be the arena."
Why
True.
do you really want to go to the arena today? I think
That's the first
as,
I've mentioned of it.
as we've been to the casino to suffice Llewellyn,
Suffice me? You guys wanted a bag of holding.
I don't think we mentioned it.
I might have mentioned the bag of holding, fair.
Okay, so we went to the, the casino to suffice for Llewellyn and Irina. Andy, where would you like to go?
I would like to stay inside and not draw attention to myself. That is pretty much it.
Perfect.
cool.
Drinks in.
I mean, it's what, 10 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
It's like
Hey.
if you guys will want to go to the arena, then feel free. But I don't think it's a good idea for me to be parading around in front of hundreds of people.
It's a good point.
Is there a way that
Also-
we can mask you to make yourself a little bit more comfortable here?
I just don't want to be out and about as much as I can help it right now. I'd rather we get what we need to get done here and go.
Yeah.
all.
It's a big city. There are a lot of wanted posters, to be fair. I can understand your anxiety over it.
I
If-
could put a pretty good mustache on you.
No, thank you.
Okay.
If you want, you could go to the 5 kiosk start in. It's whatever time you want it to be though. Just plugging advertisements for the inn.
I mean, we stay there for free, so it's not really
We do.
advertising.
Well, it's more, I think he's advertising to anyone about who might be listening.
Very loudly.
But also it's also part brothel now, thanks to Chad.
Alright. Well, what have we got on our to-do list?
This- Viseeeeer?
Well, that's not until much later on. And I don't think taking Andy into that environment's a smart idea, so...
Well, considering what my mother did there, currently, I think I better stay here when you go and do that.
Irina at the arena?
we could try and find out some...
If you can, that would be amazing.
At
but-
least if we get some sort of idea of what she actually... No one seems to know what she actually did. All we know is the Sultan's pissed.
Yeah.
So, if we do a bit of information searching, perhaps we could. I mean, maybe splitting up might be a good idea here. I mean, you need to go and see the Viseeeeer arena. So, if you wanted to go that way, Llewellyn, if you wanted to take the library and maybe search about local legends and well, local information in general. Carius, maybe the docks might be a good idea for you.
I mean, yeah, I can rope the docks if that's what people want.
And then I can take the arena. I mean, it's a win-win for everyone. Bibbidi bop, bibbidi boom. Like,
I mean,
You think maybe
I'm
he
also
just
good with.
wants to have a fight? He's been a bit feisty since he started drinking.
I think that's very true.
kind of
Because
like
we
ruffles
haven't-
up his hair.
We have a gambler and we have an alcoholic. I'm getting concerned.
I'm not an alcoholic. I just like to, but I like to practice. Practice.
And
Uh-huh.
I am not a gambler. I just really, really want those magic items. Like that wand of magic missiles will do so much good.
The first stage to recovery is acceptance.
I accept that I want that wand of magic missiles.
Maybe he's just a hoarder.
You're a hoarder.
To be fair,
You're-
I think we're all kind of hoarders.
he says, no, you're a hoarder. as he's stuffing all his items into the newly found bag of holding.
I mean, I don't think I count as a hoarder. I mean, I've just got my pretty rock that I'm trying to use for learning new magic. And my sword. I might be a weapon hoarder. I do have 2 glaives.
You're a geologist.
All right. Here's an idea. Okay, let's you usually get like a big bulletin board somewhere, right? That's got like events and whatnot that's going on. Let's go find one of those and see what looks interesting.
That's true.
If we've
That
got a
sounds
day
good.
to kill.
Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
find the quest board.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
and if,
necessarily a quest, but there could be a fun event, you know, like a wine. I don't know.
Adventurers! I'm in need of carrots.
Why carrot?
There are several dire wolves
it's a side
hunting
quest.
our chickens. Please take out 10 of them.
It's just like I have a list for this somewhere.
right, let's go find
It
the
does look
billboard.
easy.
Let me just add it to the list. I'm already out leveled in this area, so
But I'm happy to go to the arena, and I'm happy to go to the Viseeeeer. That's as much as I planned. If we need
Well,
to go
to be
to
fair, I'd like to go and find the other arena, so heading that direction at some
Yeah,
point
I mean,
will
that-
help, but
Well,
it's not urgent.
if there's gonna be an area where there's gonna be a billboard, it's probably where there's gonna be a lot of foot traffic, and there's gonna be a lot of foot traffic by the arena, which is where arena will be.
by the arena.
So we could try to kill 2 birds in 1 stone. See if there's a billboard. If there's not a billboard, knock on arena's door and be like, "Oi, you! We
Let's-
want to talk to you."
Let's take
Or however
Irina
you-
to the arena, see Irina, while we peruse the arena.
Yes.
Yes.
Too many words that sound the same in that sentence.
my head hurts.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay,
He says, muting himself.
so you want to go to a central area for the notice board, and there is actually one outside the central plaza itself. So you stop by and have a little look. Let's just
Nosy.
change the scene. And do that. There we go.
Does any of them have like ticket stubs that you can take to go learn a different language?
Hey, what you need?
No,
Do you need to learn French?
there is not. Okay, so we've got a couple of things. First of all, there is advertisements for Chad's Casino, which is obvious. Chad's been through here, and he's advertising a bard off as well, which is
Is
something
there a
that he didn't
picture of
even mention.
Is there a picture of him on the poster?
No,
Do
that's
we
right. I know what you're up. You was about to do.
Mustache!
No mustache.
do
Alright,
we
Or
do
black
we
out all his teeth.
do we see any leaflets for the Kiar starting?
um, yeah, there is actually one, and it's fresh, pinned,
But
and
say
square. It's much neater than the other ones.
if there wasn't, I was gonna put one up.
Okay. There
What
is
does the part off one say?
the bard off is literally advertising anyone who wants to challenge bard. Sorry, challenge Chad to a bard off. They are more than welcome.
That's all I need
bring
to know.
in-
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so in on this.
And it hasn't put specific names on it. Cool.
No, he hasn't. No, it's sort of an open invitation. If anyone thinks themselves, a skillful minstrel, they can put their skills to the challenge.
Yeah,
Well, it was more I was making sure that it didn't have my name on it.
fair enough.
What do you think, Andy? You, me, Chad, bad off?
Excuse you?
He pulls out his bagpipes.
Who is the bard here?
He's putting himself on the same level as you. You should.
That's just insulting.
If it is in front of a big crowd and things like that, and it's an advertised event, I'm not really interested.
Yeah, because you don't
You
want to.
can go crazy, but you're not technically a bard.
I mean, I could probably create a scroll for you to alter self, so you could,
No, thank you.
so you
You
wouldn't
gotta
look.
remember, some people can see through that sort of thing. If she gets too comfortable walking around, she could get caught out.
I appreciate everyone trying, but I don't want to alter myself. I don't want to wear a costume.
You could just kill anyone who comes up to you.
It'll work. Might become
No.
an actual wanted person, but let's. Don't worry. Don't worry.
There is a wanted poster from, and not the type you're thinking, but it's from Cal Hatter's Cage, who was the monster hunter.
Ooh.
So Cal Hatter has put out a bounty effectively for a creature that has been sighted in south of the Clawed Coast. It is a monstrous being that bores through the earth and leaves behind a trail of purple chitin.
Oh, is that the thing we mentioned to him in the first place, or her? I can't remember if it was to her in the first place. So she knows she's put a bulletin on for it.
Yep.
Oh, that's how word of mouth happens.
What's the reward for that?
Good question. Let's find out.
Fame and glory.
It's about 5,000 gold. Jesus.
I'm gonna take that, roll it up, and stick it in my pocket.
Maybe that's a bit too much.
No, it's not.
No, it's set now. You've established it.
You can't retcon in a retcon.
Alive, but 2,500 dead.
Yeah, I'm taking the
Oh.
poster and I'm sticking it in my pocket.
I mean, if you can capture the beast, that'd be a feat in of its own.
I never said it was
But-
for me.
Yeah, true.
Then
Anyway, so there is obviously an advertisement for the arena, and it is a challenge from the Faaaaar Sovereigns, who have been the self-proclaimed champions till now. Well, I say self-proclaimed; they're definitely the proclaimed champions at this point because they have bested almost everyone else in Gaidia up to this point. There has been no match for them, and it is a party effectively that you have to group together. So up to 5 members can participate against them. And yeah, inside the Conflux Arena, which is this one's a big prize pool. This one probably is worth a lot. Let me see. Yeah, we'll go with 7,300 gold to the winner, and then effectively that'll be split between the party, of course.
what a really random number. Why wouldn't they just like round that up to a very square number?
Because it is dependent on ticket sales, and also there is some funds and fees for entering into the arena itself as well. So that's going to
Yeah.
deduct it.
It's kind of a shame that you can't fight an arena because I imagine that would sell tickets like hotcakes, and then we could really up the prize pool.
Effectively, it's like 2,000 gold to enter as well. There's that caveat. No, wait, that seems ridiculous. 1,000. It's probably about yeah, no, I will say about 2,000 gold to enter actually. Yeah, that does make sense.
Huh.
So there is a bit of a gamble in a way.
So what you're
You-
saying is, if we want
you
to
stand
join
win,
this,
you stand to win triple that.
we gotta go gamble and earn some money, so we can gamble to fight them and earn the money.
That'd be a gamble though when you know just how strong you guys are. There are a number of rules listed in there as well. One of them being that you can only take into the arena itself up to 1 magic item per adventurer, per party member.
I know which one.
This is to stop an overload of people bringing in like a dozen potions and just having people chug them down. It also means that you're kind of specialized. You only have one, and it just speeds up the fight, not having everyone using multiple different things at once. But yes, one magic item is all you're allowed
It's pretty
when you go into this
sensible.
arena.
Does my book count as my item?
And yes, if you wanted to use its properties, which you haven't been doing. But
What?
yeah,
What properties?
the ones where you can cast spells from different directions, different angles, and use it to negate having to use somatic components.
I've been doing the negate and somatic. I've mentioned it a few times, but I can't take. I'm not allowed to take my
You
book
can,
out.
you can cast spells from different angles, though.
Yeah, because
Well,
I got
then,
sending
in
walk.
that case, if that's the case, then you'll have to go in without. You'll have to pick something else.
Yeah, because
It doesn't mean you can't cast spells, by the way.
yeah,
Not having a spell book just means you can't prepare new spells.
I just got told I can't take it out in public, and I'm pretty sure the arena is pretty public.
Yeah, pretty public. But yeah, it doesn't honestly matter that much. It's just you won't be able to cast. You won't be able to prepare new spells. It doesn't stop you from casting them. But
Yeah.
I guess it does act as an arcane focus. But you can use a different one for the fight. Okay. What else is there? There is a warning as well. It says Shadows of the Desert. It says somewhere in the north of north of the Claude Coast, there have been kidnappings, people in the night traveling and disappearing. And it says, yeah, just be warned, do not travel during the night. Go as a big caravan if you can, or hire an escort, but do not travel alone and be wary at night. There is dangers afoot, and there is still an ongoing investigation as to what it could be, but setting one of those up is incredibly dangerous in of itself.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's everything.
Any of that pull at you guys?
I mean, a lot of them are sort of things that are going to take time. It's not really a sort of, hey, spend the day doing this.
Or
They're
there is
all
more.
a bit lengthy.
Yeah, a lot of them are a couple of
My
days
bad.
travel out of Guardia as well.
Oh, I just found something else actually. In addition to that, there are a number of little smaller notices under that there are people wanting escorts. So that's potentially a mission. Some people want to go to the dry oasis. Some people want to go to the Rashkar.
If
And then finally, the last thing, there is a sandcastle competition. This isn't potentially much gold involved because most of you'll be against kids, but it's like a little fun decorated poster, lots of colors and stuff, and it's
You
yeah.
guys.
There's a little contest down by the beach. So yeah,
uh, we should definitely do the sandcastle thing. The ones that need escorts, can I send them to the brothel if they need an escort?
yeah, you can track them down and.
An escort.
Well, they need a wrong kind of escort.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
not
I
that kind of
see.
escort. God
Okay.
damn it.
But yeah, we should definitely do the sandcastle thing. That would be. It seems cheap, quick, and fun.
And we can crush some children's dreams while we're at it.
Yes, we will build the biggest sandcastle ever.
I would imagine magic at least probably isn't allowed, so that's or at least not.
No,
completely.
there's no real rules. It's very loose. It's not. It doesn't have anything. It just build the best sandcastle you can possibly manage, right? That's it.
I'll just chain lightning all the competitions, sandcastles.
Okay, that's against the rules. You can't
That's a
directly
little bit
interfere.
too mean.
What if?
Oh.
Because I'd imagine this is by the river. What if the
Okay.
river level just raises slightly?
You guys
what?
are really mean. These are
I'm
little children.
Crush them. I mean,
I mean,
Well-
to be fair, these two are children.
we will
Um,
we will teach them a lesson that they will remember. No, that still sounds really bad.
They will never forget.
Yeah.
No,
would
we're
you-
going for fun.
I meant it in a
This isn't
life
a
lesson.
battle against the forces of evil.
It's the forces of gravity.
Have you hung around with kids before? Some of them are pure evil.
I've hung around with street kids.
Street kids.
I was one of them, and they are terrible, but we still had some fun. We
Kids.
knew when to respect each other.
Hi, kid. But yeah,
I
sandcastle
can't
sounds
see
fun.
the same.
Sandcastle sounds fun.
To the beach. To be fair, there's sand everywhere. I'd
Just
probably
like
empty out one of my shoes and build a sandcastle with what's in there.
the reasoning is behind like I'm like, what can I do to help us build sandcastles and crush the enemy? And it's like kill spell, kill spell, kill spell, kill
You
spell,
don't
kill
need to
spell.
use magic. Use the sand.
It's a
Mm.
sandcastle.
Oh,
Kill spell. Invisibility.
all right. So you head down to the beach. That's what you want to do. It is actually in the morning anyway, because they want the tide to be low. So there's plenty of room on the beach. Okay. So you want to head on down. Let's see. What do we got? I need a beach art. We'll just use this. Oop. Behind it. Going on. There we go. Sure. All right. So you head down. There is a little hubbub as people running around cheering. They're getting excited. You can hear the clatter of buckets and spades, and there's laughter of kids. There's running around, and at the moment, some of the parents are trying to calm them down and get them focused. Some parents are there for the laughs. You can tell. Other parents are there because they want their kid to seriously win. And then they're taking the whole ordeal just a bit too much on the serious side. But yeah, there's a whole mixture of different races as well. Fire genasi, water genasi. There are definitely a lot of earth genasi as well. For
Oh,
sure. They seem to be. That'd probably be the one who's more serious. Yeah, that like the father's like, right, gotta win this as we practiced. Okay, he's like trying to build his son up to be
oh no.
the best damn builder there is. This is like our heritage on the line here. We can't have an earth genasi making a crap sandcastle. Be dishonoring our family. Anyway, there and there's a couple of humans and
Parenting.
yeah, exactly.
It's like those pageant mums.
Super strict. Yeah. But if you want to enter in, you absolutely can. They're all of different various ages as well. Right, from toddlers to like teenagers.
Right.
What's sort of like the oldest person taking part?
Probably you guys.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can still take part, right?
You are allowed to take part, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, why not? But yeah, you can take part.
Did Andy come with us?
Yeah, but she's got a scarfy thing on and kind
We'll
of
take-
looking to the side.
We're just taking our collective daughter, Andy, to make a sandcastle.
Llewellyn, shut up.
This
I'm
won't
not
be
a
awkward.
child.
This
If
won't
there's
be
any
awkward.
consolation, Andy, there doesn't actually appear to be a guard in sight. This isn't like a sanctioned event or anything. This is
Yeah, she's not
clearly
going to take
just-
any chances though.
yeah, sure, right.
So she's going to keep her
Right. So-
scarfy thing over her face.
So what's the strategy here?
All right.
So-
I'm gonna stay up so we don't ruin the competition for the children. The competition is between us. No magic.
Oh,
You have to make it with your own hands.
How about just cantrips?
No! I don't know how to do cantrips. That's unfair.
Yeah, but you have key.
Hmm?
Yeah, let's just make it fair for those who don't use magic.
I agree to that. We have to make it with our own hands.
What, Alan?
What?
No
What?
funny wording.
It's okay,
You
I'll keep an
that's
eye
your
on him.
word,
If
isn't
I
it?
see him casting any kind of spells, then I'll stunning strike him.
It's your
What
word.
I'm saying
I
is
just-
no magic.
Lean into my bag and chalk up my hands, staring at Llewellyn.
Jesus.
Really, guys?
It's a fair challenge.
I was gonna cast Arcane Hand. Because it would be my hand.
Can I use magic to make a prototype, not actual for the actual sandcastle?
No
No.
magic.
Yeah,
It's a sandcastle competition. You use your bloody hands.
yeah. I
Not
was
magic.
thinking. I was thinking make a nice prototype so that I've got a reference, but whatever, I'm good.
No.
I'll tell you what's your reference. I'll point towards Gaidia.
You want me to make Gaijir out of sand? I mean, it'd probably win, but
Can I just point out that I have a major disadvantage?
you do only
Because-
have one hand.
I'm just like digging in the sand with a hook. Like,
Hold on, I have a good idea. What I'll do is I'll turn around and I'll pull something out of my bag as well as a parchment, and I begin doing my thing. Chris, what I'm doing is I'm using my marvelous pigments to kind
You're
of.
drawing my hand.
Oh no,
You
I was
make a
gonna make.
trowel.
I was gonna make a trowel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that coming. I saw
Amazing.
And I'll just be like,
Alright.
okay, give me your non-hand.
Sure.
I pull it off.
It makes a squeak and then a pop as the hook comes through.
You're supposed to
And
twist and pull.
I pull out my 3D printed trowel.
How did
You
you?
know,
Excellent.
I've just
Yeah, he
realised
painted
I've
it to
not
be
been
the
doing-
exact size, and
I-
yeah, it fits like a glove.
Did I see him paint that?
There we go.
Maybe.
How did you? I've seen those before.
Seen what before?
Paints.
What
I
paints?
I didn't know you had those paints. Chris said maybe, so I assumed I saw. I have 21 perception.
Oh
Just
yeah,
saying.
you probably saw. Yeah, I've had these for quite a while. It was actually a leaving gift from when I left the monastery.
There you go.
I can imagine painting would be quite tranquil.
Yes, it was something about bringing life to your paintings. I never knew what it meant. However, it really does bring life out of a painting, I tell you that.
Can you paint living things?
See, now if we really wanted to win, you could just paint a sandcastle.
You could paint a sandcastle.
No, I'm not going to use it for that.
I know.
I was just doing this to help out Llewellyn because he's going to be at a disadvantage because, you know, lacks creativity, can't use magic.
How is a? Never mind. It's fine.
You can pat it down.
I just stare. Just dead eye stare.
I'm going to bring Egbert out, but I'm going to make sure he's wearing like suntan lotion so he doesn't get burnt. Like,
No magic. I kick his egg into the sea. No.
I think that might be the end of
Grandma
Llewellyn.
from Coco. No music.
Right.
Cool.
Sandcastle time, I guess.
Alright.
Yes, that goes those.
Okay, you can all give me your best. If you're proficient in performance, you can use that, and add. You can either add Dex or Charisma to this.
What do you
What if you're
roll
not
if...
proficient?
Yeah.
If
What
you're
we
not
rolling?
proficient, you can just roll Dex or Charisma.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Dex it
I mean,
is.
Are
If
you
you're
rolling-
I'll
you
say
rolling
also
all
if you're
for us?
proficient in. Actually, no one's proficient in thieves' tools that are making one, are they? No. Okay.
What do you-
Yeah.
Andy is.
Anchor
Okay.
Sean.
Hey, Sean, you could opt to instead use. Wait, was there a strict rule on only using hands?
Yes.
Because I mean, you need some tools. All the kids are using tools as well.
But what I mean is
but-
no magic.
Yeah, no.
Right.
You can use
okay.
tools, but not magic.
All right.
No, Chris. I know you said charisma, but what if I don't want to talk to the sand, and I want
It's-
to intellectually, just
I suppose technically you
try
could
and
argue
put
for
something
intellect
together.
because you'd be able to like plan
You
out
are
where it is.
overcomplicating this.
See,
Uh,
I was considering survival, but
Sorry, Chris.
I'm gonna say no.
For Andy and I, the thieves' tools. Go on.
Oh my god.
Can use thieves' tools, yes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I
What?
attempt to make the library, but it's just like a mound.
Whoa,
Charisma
okay.
isn't just talking, by the way. It is an expression of one's being. So it's effectively bringing out the artist in you.
So,
Um, and as you're trying to go intellectual, there's not much science behind a sandcastle. You just get it the right wetness, and then you start crafting it. That's it.
Thieves' tools is dexterity plus proficiency, correct?
Yeah.
Cool.
you gotta have knowledge of a castle, Chris. God, there's all the different parts. And to be fair, I don't make a castle. I make the Baba Yaga's dancing hut as a sandcastle.
Okay, that sounds cool. Pretty cool.
I'm
Like,
literally
and I-
trying to make a boat.
And I do it by shouting at the sand, and the sand starts to move in on itself. Rankin. With my
Alright,
charisma.
So we got some rolls in. Carius, you rolled a 9. What on earth?
Look at Irina. Irina rolled a 7.
Like,
They're
I
just as
have-
proficient as me. They're
My
more proficient
charisma is
than me.
20, and I rolled a 7.
Yeah, my charisma's only 19. Comment on them first.
Everything you seem to make seems to sort of like get mottled and melt away. The sand is all too soggy, and you're not even using tools. Did you try to use a bucket and spade? Irina as well. This seems to have the same problem. You seem to be like next to each other in the soggy parts, and just when you think like you've made a shape, Irina, it kind of just goes and like slumps down, and one of the slumps hits the other sandcastle that you've made, and that knocks over. So effectively, they've made something looks like this. A
Tell you what.
sad mound of mottled sand.
That's not bad.
I mean, considering I was just kind of like, oh yeah, it ends up looking like a mound, so she's just kind of like, ta-da! It's
You
the
can see a structure
desert!
going on there, and it's got what looks like some kind of drawbridge going on.
Is there?
To be fair, it looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
a sandcastle I've made.
Like it looks like it has the hallmarks of a great structure, but that structure has seen like a billion years of decay and weather. And
Tell me that doesn't look like a
Safe.
ruined drow city.
What are you on about? Can't see anything.
in the chat.
Oh, in
In
the.
the,
Because drow
yeah.
cities are like all stalactites and stalagmites.
Yeah.
So could easily be a drow city.
We literally just sit there and come
Oh.
up with this whole story around this thing. We're like, oh yeah, it's now deserted, and it was like, the home to the greatest warriors in the world, but it has fallen to ruin and lost forever.
Llewellyn just looks at you, blinks, looks at Carius, blinks, look at Kashan, and goes, "Troll, good."
Okay. All right, Kashan, with your
21.
14.
Apparently,
Kashan.
he put
Oh,
21.
what did you get? 21.
I
Jesus.
got 21 because it's +5 if it's plus my proficiency.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
So
actually,
what
then-
I've tried to go for was a recreation of the monastery of the frozen thing.
But that's
Oh, very nice.
Also,
19.
14 plus 5 is 19.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
that's
gonna-
what I said.
No, you said 21.
Even wrote 21.
Yeah,
just
that's what I
saying.
meant. See, I wrote 19.
God damn it,
maths.
Callum.
Very cool. All right, so
I'm tired. of it.
recreating the monastery in the midst of the jungle. Although it's kind of like a high rise in the jungle, but let's just find a cool image. I imagine that you could even put like little candles dotted around in the sandcastle itself. That kind of like lights up. You just added little extra touches that people hadn't quite thought of.
With the
you've
Overlord
used
Egbert looking down.
Yeah, and you found a few sticks and twigs, and you stuck those in and added like leaves to them, basically represent like the little jungle trees. And yeah, it looks quite exotic. People here are like looking at it and they're kind of scratching their heads. They've never seen quite a structure like it. Obviously, the architecture differs wildly from that of Gaidia. So, yeah, they're impressed. And a few claps. Um, it's okay, Llewellyn, you got an 18, yeah?
Yeah.
Which wasn't bad, all things considering. I guess you are using some of your knowledge of structures and castles.
Well, I
Um,
built Baba Yaga's hut essentially.
oh yeah, that's right. You're building a. In fact, I wonder if there's ever an image of that.
Like when it's on the ground or actually on its legs?
When it's on its legs, it is like on its
Oh,
legs
mean-
and stood up.
I mean,
For a
Okay.
sandcastle, that's just gonna fall down.
No,
it will. But what you've done is you've built up a structure in between the legs, which is
Yeah.
just kind of smooth sand, so it's not textured. But you have built out of that mound the legs, so it does look like it's kind of standing. But yeah, just to make it actually physically work, you have to create a whole base of it. And the hut is a relatively good shape to make out of a sandcastle. It's sloping, it's square. You do
I found
use a lot of
cool
tools.
picture.
chicken legs.
Or did you found a pic? Did you?
Okay.
I put it in the chat, not in. I don't know if I
In
can-
Discord chat.
Yeah, in Discord chat. So
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, that
Yeah.
could work. Wow.
Yeah, I don't quite make that though. I only rolled an 18.
Yeah.
Maybe
You can
Anthony
definitely-
could have made that.
They can definitely see what you're going for, but because it's a relatively easy shape for the hut itself, that shines through. It's like simple is good, effectively.
It's the legs that
Uh,
make it stand out.
The legs definitely were like, whoa, what's that? And some people may have heard of it, but the kids just think it's kind of a weird, wacky invention and they love it.
Yeah.
Okay, moving up to
Oh my god.
Earthquake. Finally, Andy, jeez, what were you going for with your sandcastle? Because whatever it is you've done it.
What she would have done is something she probably used to do a lot growing up as a little girl, of course, because she lived out in the desert. So she's made sandcastles quite frequently, no doubt.
yeah. You'd think
She
Paris
hasn't
would have
based
done
this off
better.
any actual structure that anyone would know of. What she's actually done is when she was a kid, and she explains this to everyone, she used to sit with Smolder in the sand and they used to make their own little dream house. You know, if they actually could have a home, this is what she wanted it to be like.
Oh,
No, you can't say things like that.
that's
That's
adorable.
so cute.
She's never had an actual home before, so this is literally what she wanted if she did have a home. So it's probably got some really ridiculous stuff in there. Like probably, you know, a bread room. Not a bakery, a bread room. You know, Smolder's got a lava pit instead of a, you know, a jacuzzi bath or something. And
Amazing.
Would
Yeah,
you
and I'm
would,
gonna say your attention to detail is evident, and you can see the
Irina's
purpose
just
of each
literally
room.
just like tearing up, like and then just literally
No.
hugs Andy like you poor girl.
I like to think that if you look in real close through one of the windows, you can just see like little loaves of bread. Like you've somehow made an interior.
she's
in
used
this thing.
pebbles or something for them, yeah.
Yeah.
Shells for people and
This is the sort of thing Karis was aiming for. He did not succeed.
I made scary hut. Anthony made loving home.
Curious. Oh no, yeah. It's turned into a
Yeah.
spiky mess.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Earth Genasi child. So yeah, you guys have made all your little sandcastles. You can decide your winner amongst yourselves. As for the kids in the distance, they've made phenomenal work as well. The Earth Genasi really did take it to the extreme and ended up making a recreation of Gaidia itself. Every little detail on every building. There's like a working gate as well. God knows how he managed to make it work, like the hinges.
I'm
He's
pretty
added-
sure that's magic.
Oh, probably, yeah, because you
I
do
mean,
see
it's
him like,
probably an innate ability, isn't it?
oh, for
Oh,
sure,
we
he's
were allowed
molding the
innate
earth.
abilities.
They can't help it. They're born that way.
He
I
is
mean, technically,
100%
I'm a
molding it.
sorcerer. All of my abilities are innate.
These are children.
Yeah, wasn't. Yeah.
Well, they may be children, but they're definitely prodigies in their own right, and you can tell he is looking at Gaidia itself the whole time as he's molding it, just not even looking at what he's doing, just staring at this image in his head there, and he creates it all definitely through magic, definitely through mold earth, but then he goes in for the smaller details with like little tiny tools and adds a window, and he's going by making this lattice work on one of the domed structures as well, and yeah, everyone's flabbergasted. But the winner actually goes to the Air Genasi, who has come along and rather than make something predictable, like a model version of Gaidia, they've actually just created something new, and it's unsure. You're unsure whether it's underwater or if it's potentially somewhere that exists in the elemental plane of air, but it still has this Gaidia sort of feel to it because it's made of sand. And he's taken an idea out of your book as well, Kishan. He saw that you were using candles, and they've gone over and they've added little tiny lights onto theirs as well. But this whole thing has definitely been made of wind magic because they had a simple castle to begin with, and then they completely changed it halfway through it. Everyone's like, "Whoa!" as it takes on this transformation. Instead of square, they kind of swirl the patterns up in the air, so they kind of come to this twirling point. And
Are
yeah, that's
are they within 40 feet of each other?
yes.
I'm totally not gonna fireball that. No, I shouldn't.
What's wrong with you?
I haven't
If
got any helpful
you
spells.
would turn it to glass anyway, so you just make it even more badass. But
Now,
That would
but I
be
could
nice.
control the winds. Let's turn
Don't
air
be
magic.
mean. These kids have worked hard.
I cheated.
It didn't cheat.
They're
There's
children.
definitely yeah,
Have a heart.
the expression of oneself has definitely shone through, and they've definitely created something totally unique. Um, and yeah, the Air Genasi goes and receives their little prize, their goodie bag of treats and sweets, most likely,
Yeah.
as well as a little medal. It doesn't. It might not look like real gold. It actually could be. Who knows? These kids definitely worked hard, but yeah, it could be fool's gold as well. Either way, they definitely get a cool ribboned medal. And yeah, she seems really pleased with herself. She kind of rises into the air, does a few laps while levitating. There you go. What
Mo-
else?
Just mocking Irina. And, no magic, but kids can use magic. Why is that fair?
Because you're a grown ass adult.
But we weren't competing against them, we were competing against each other.
Alright, well then this round, we, as our little group, can use magic for this round then.
Oh, round 2, okay.
Damn
I'm up
right
for
if
that.
you two are going to be babies about it.
Is there any
I
around?
wasn't complaining that much, but I'm up for round 2.
Bring it on.
All right. There's a
Is
small
there-
break in between for all the parents. There's drink stands. They're making like fruity cocktails and stuff. But yeah, if you want to give it another shot,
Yep.
go right ahead.
Yep, Carius, as magic is allowed this time, will be using a 5th level spell for this. I'm going to use.
Here we go.
I am going. I'm going to use. You know what? Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to manipulate some of the water using shape water out of the sand to make dry sand, and then I'm going to use. Then I'm going to use control winds to shape my sandcastle.
Right. And what kind of thing you're going for the same idea as before, but this time fully realized?
You
No,
give
do you know what? Considering like everyone's like liked the exotic ideas, no, would Karis do that? Give me a moment. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Damn. Know what? Karis isn't going to make a sand castle. He's going to make a sand dragon just for the fun of it. He's going to make a blue dragon out of sand.
Wow. Very cool. Once again, you probably have to use a massive base just to get it started, and God knows how you're going to make the wings support. I guess you
Well,
could have them like flat.
I was gonna have like the wings like felted and like sculpted sort
Yeah,
of
I
thing.
was thinking that could definitely work. But definitely it's going to shine once you add all the details for every scale and stuff. You could even use some pebbles for like more, for like maybe the horns or something, and decorate it that way.
No, I've just thought of an even better idea actually. I'm gonna make the fortress turtle thing that we fought. No.
Oh, the horizon black turtle. Okay.
Yeah.
Your design goes through several iterations. You're like scrapping one after another. Every time
Yeah.
you get somewhat close, you end up just washing it away and starting again.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, in this case, this time, if you're using magic, you can roll with advantage. And also you can roll your charisma, spellcasting.
It's shift for advantage, isn't it?
Yeah,
Come on.
very nice.
That's better.
Much better. Yeah, it sounds like you managed to pull off exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, I don't
That-
know if efficiency gets added to that, but if it does, that's an extra like 5.
Proficiency represents more like something you've been doing as a skill. But
Yeah. I know.
I mean, 22 is still rocking it for sure.
Yep.
You create the horizon back turtle in full sand sculpture.
Wow.
Several people look at it and they're like, "Huh, I've heard of stories like this when travelers are attacked at sea by these vicious creatures."
Yeah, we actually fought some of them. They were fish people, shark-like teeth.
The hurricane.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
shake their fists at the sea.
Honestly, in that case, yeah, they kind of suck. They were like they were like taking dead sailors' bodies and stuff, which, you know, I'm not going to let stand. So.
Mm.
But now, what I can do is, once everyone's seen this, is I can take out some vengeance and destroy the castle.
That was the real purpose of it.
Yes.
You just want to build it so you could destroy it. Like, yeah, I win, level up.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, who else is making sandcastles out of magic? Out of magic.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna win the ribbon now, but sure.
You
I wanted the
wanted the
ribbon.
ribbon.
So, I'll cast Arcane Hand
Mhm.
and place it stood upwards like a hand, like over the one I just made of the hut. And I'll take some advice from what you just said. I'm going to cover the whole of the hand in sand, away from everyone, by the way, so there's no people, and then fireball it so it turns into glass. And then when you move the hand away, there's a glass hand with a Baba Yaga's hut inside.
Damn. All right, roll.
Well, that's the intent
Your
anyway.
You can use your spellcasting modifier for this because you are spellcasting. So I'll say intelligence with advantage.
This is gonna be. This is where I'm gonna roll really low now. That's like, oh, this is the great thing that I'm good at. Oh, never mind.
20, nice.
So I rolled it.
For the other one, yeah, we don't count the one, but yeah, it's a good job. You did roll with advantage. It just shows just how much magic could works in this situation. 'Cause if you tried to pull this off without that, you would probably just blow up your sandcastle, and that would be the nat one. But turning it around, it's a dirty 20 instead. As you said, you create the hand, and I like the idea that the hut inside glass. It still counts as a sandcastle, just it's encompassed with this beautiful glass hand structure.
You could almost shape the arcane hand into like one of like Baba Yaga's hands, so it's like her hand over the hut because it's under her control.
I meant like it's stood up, so it looks like it's waving, and then the it's just like inside the hand, just at the bottom.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
'Cause
let's
why?
not traumatize the locals.
Creative.
It's like And it'll probably be there for like a really long time because it's glass now.
Yeah, it's just gonna be.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a new
glass on the
tourist
beach.
attraction, the glass hand.
Yeah. Feel like, yeah, but glass on the beach, be careful where you're stepping if this thing ever smashes. But anyway, that's pretty cool structure.
Put a barrier around it. It's just
Good use of your intelligence to know how to craft glass effectively. So that did encompass a bit of science finally.
yeah.
Makes sense for the intelligence roll. Anyone else using magic?
I'd like to attempt, but
Okay.
Irina's creativity might not work as well as she's hoping. So
So-
obviously,
So ready for
Um,
this.
I would like to. I'm going to use Mage Hand to assist me, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a lighthouse. Essentially, I'm going to build the lighthouse that's at Weep, and then right at the
Oh.
very top, I'm going to cast Create Bonfire to actually make an actively working lighthouse.
Wow, it's gonna be a massive structure to create, like, to fit a bonfire
Like
in the
it's
top.
a small one, but like obviously, Create Bonfire is like a 5-foot
Yeah,
thing.
here
So
it is.
it's a squat one, but I want it to be
Okay.
actively working.
The beacon is lit. Gondor calls for it.
If I can melt some glass using the bonfire, I can actually make like the lens as well.
True. Damn. Okay. Roll me your charisma then. With advantage.
20.
Of course.
Oh! And look at it, it blazes, such as the sandcastle. All right, wow. You said you wanted to make it like squat.
So it's
You end
like
up
it's like
making
a short lighthouse, but it works.
cool. Okay. Despite it like looking kind of short and stubby, it's still a marvel. It's still a feat of almost impossibility. The fact that you've created a bonfire inside the sandcastle, a working one at that. And yeah, it just shines out. And everyone in the actual competition has crowded around this thing, and they're looking at it and marveling, like, how did you do this? But yeah, you kept the heat just at the right temperature. It's not turning the top to glass. It's maintaining it as sandcastle. But yeah,
I still
it's
think
exactly
Andy
as you say.
wins.
It's a perfect replica as well, like down to every little crack in the stonework as well. You've managed to actually carve that out as well.
This is why we see no magic. Because when I couldn't use magic, I made that. You see?
Yeah. As we weren't competing with the children, I mean, I suppose for Kashan's sake, it makes sense not to use magic, but he still, like, outdid, to be honest, probably. Like, yeah. There's more emotion behind his. I just made something cool. I think, though, even in round 2, unless Andy wants to try building something round 2, Andy wins.
She's just still carrying on with what she was doing. She's not, making a new structure. She's actually adding to it and making like houses for everyone and making a little village now.
Amazing.
Without magic, she's just doing it with her hands.
Oh.
That's pretty cool.
That's adorable.
I like to think you've added little stairs here as well,
Yeah.
because Weep is known for its like bridges, its stairs. This is actually quite a good image, if anything. But yeah. Oh wow. So that it's starting to get like into the afternoon, roughly at this point, after you finished spending a couple of hours building sandcastles. A lot of people are packing up their deck chairs and such. Uh, yeah, beach episode. I know it really is. So yeah, if you want to grab drinks as well, you can do. But it seems like some of the parents are taking their kids back home. And if you see the Earth Genasi one, he's definitely getting like disciplined for not winning the competition.
Oh, don't be mean to me.
That's right. Throwing stones at him or something. I know what an
Just
Earth
an
Genasi
oops.
punishment looks like. Stoning. Oh, jeez. Anyway.
I mean, to be
Ah.
honest, isn't that like throwing food at them? I don't know. Did
No, that would be
eat rocks?
throwing food at them. If they ate rocks, that would be cannibalism. That's so messed up. That's more messed up than the idea of stoning a child.
No, really,
And-
because I mean, stones could be like their equivalent of pork.
Can I just like
Well-
keep sending message to the Earth Genasi that just goes beep 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 just to annoy him because he's punishing his child for. Just like keep sending it until I'm out of range.
Sure.
Just see how he reacts to it. See if it starts to aggravate him, get him to stop doing what he's doing because he's out of focus. I don't know.
They definitely hurry the child away rather than continuing the punishment.
Good.
Like they leave the beach. All right.
Oh no.
Right.
Um,
You know what? Karis is one last thing, seeing what Llewellyn has done for his, and perhaps as part of his training and learning how to turn one element into another, he's going to use Shocking Grasp to just basically use lightning to like turn his into like a weird Fulgurite sort of
Oh,
dragon turtle.
very cool.
Ooh.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's not quite what I need to do. I need to turn the Fulgurite back into lightning, but turning lightning into Fulgurite kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good job you waited until a lot of people had left, because when that crackling lightning goes off, like you can hear screaming children in the distance, and they just start running.
Eh.
I
I
think
thought
like
they left.
literally one of the parents like, "Dragon attack! Run for your life!"
Harris is just
yeah.
like, wait, my lightning's powerful enough to be considered like a dragon's? I'll take that.
Just- I just look at Yuryu and just like, oh wait, he's still human form. What?
Yeah, what would Urian end up making? He'd definitely be here.
That's actually a
Chilling.
really interesting idea. If we wanted to cheat in a future, well, I'm not saying we would. Get Urian to turn into his dragon form. Get him to turn, or get him to turn invisible. Turn back into a dragon form. Then we just cover him in sand and sculpt it around him.
It's, that,
That's cheating.
that would definitely be a way to cheat. You can't use existing molds. No.
And then what you do is, while he's invisible, you drop the spell, and havoc ensues.
He's
Right.
probably been lounging on one of the deck chairs, sort of bathing in the heat the whole time. I'll
Well,
be ready to move on.
yeah, that was fun. Do you want to go see Irina too?
Or should we prepare to go to the Viseeeeer?
I think the meeting with the vizier, you need to look somewhat presentable. So make yourselves presentable.
So
And
shopping trip.
Prestigitate.
whichever you prefer.
Honestly, I think that's actually not a bad idea. I might go shopping for something a bit more presentable too. Like, I mean, the armor he can't really say no to. It's like official cleric armor of a god. If he says no to that, he's a dick.
All it
Um,
says is just it's an evening dinner party situation. So
Yeah, I should probably.
don't come dressed as a hobo essentially to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get. So you're probably gonna wear like your library scholarly robes, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna put my robes on.
I hope nothing happens at this dinner party, because the last one I went to, a cathedral burnt down.
I don't think that's going to happen here.
Alright,
I don't
Carius-
plan on burning anything down. at least.
Carius wants to go try to find some more suitable attire than his like mist coat.
So you're heading into the market or into the actual more expensive plaza?
Well, I'm going for a meeting with the vizier. As much as Carius isn't one for that, that's 75 gold should be more than enough for some clothes. So I'll try them all first. Like the expensive area and see what I can find there in clothing shops.
I mean, if there's time, I can always jazz it up a little bit for you.
I'll dazzle it for you.
That's a good idea. I will definitely take that on.
I mean, I
Yeah.
can probably help you make sure it's all like properly worn and stuff. So
Yeah. Um,
I know you're from around here, but still,
yeah.
if you want this, that goes for anyone.
Yes. So
Yeah, I will. I will wait for you all back at the inn.
yeah.
Whoever's
So
going.
Karis is probably going for something like the blue image in this picture, sort of thing. But in fact, in this case, he's probably actually going to forego his armor for this thing.
Okay.
Actually,
looks
no,
like-
blue would mesh too much with his actual skin tone. Probably artist people. Which one of the first three do you think would fit better with Karis's blue skin and red hair?
Third one.
Third one. Okay, we'll go for the third one. I thought I might as well, if I'm basically wearing a mist coat, I might as well go for the actual wax look.
Call Mistborn.
Yeah,
Okay, sure.
yeah,
All right. If you're heading into the Kabiri Plaza, then you'll
Yeah.
absolutely find many shops selling the finest silks, the most vibrant-looking colors, and you could easily match this outfit to one
Yeah.
of the many stores.
yeah.
Fine
So-
clothing is quite expensive, however, especially here in Gaidia, where it's the finest of the
Yeah.
finest.
I also kind of want to get a pocket watch, if they exist.
Now, what now? A pond? Was it?
A pocket watch. I don't know if they exist yet.
Pocket watch? Roll me an investigation check. Yeah, if they pocket watch is definitely a fashionable accessory. So it looks like Gaidia has it, and they've been imported from a distant continent, but Midra is obviously very familiar to you, but maybe not the town of
Bridge.
Umbridge. Indeed, yes. This has got a patented design on the back. You can see it's engraved with their stamp. Probably one of the mages or artificers within Thumbridge.
Yep.
Fine clothes is going to set you back 30 gold pieces.
I will take it.
The stopwatch alone is probably about 5 gold pieces.
Okay, I shall take that as well. And I shall add those to my sheet.
Okay. And anyone else buying fine clothing? Laverne, what are you going in?
Well, I just already look regal as fuck anyway.
He's wearing Malone's robes, which is going to be an
Okay.
interesting conversation.
Sure, sure.
But
Haircut?
would you want to do a trade, Irina? I know you like to collect keys, and I have 2 keys, and I kind of need 10 gold.
How many keys are they?
I think there's a gold key and a silver key. I got them in the a gold key and a silver key. They're from the Floating Isles. I just forgot about them and then was like, oh yeah, I've still got the keys.
Gold you after?
10 gold.
10.
Yeah, I wanna go get some incense and stuff so I can bring my familiar back.
Oh,
Wow,
okay.
you really are scratching the bottom of the barrel.
Well, I don't want to go all the way back to the casino to do some exchanging just to come back into town.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Sold.
And I give her the keys because she loves keys.
She's just got these keys and she's like, oh.
Whoa.
She like opens up her coat and she like sticks them in a pocket and you just hear this jangle of keys.
Oh my god!
Jeez, how many has she got? So,
How many pockets has she got inside this coat as well? How many of them have keys in them?
alright. Okay, and then that 10 gold immediately gets spent buying incense. You can
Yeah.
get some really different, unique scent from here. They're all kind of named that. They're all like named really elaborate things, like desert flower or mirage cactus and stuff like that.
I'm just talking to the guy. I'm like, do you have any incense that just smell like incense? They're not going to be around for much longer.
Just incense.
Like,
There's no such thing as just incense. Every fragrance is a new and wonderful dream, compressed into a beautiful sensation that is smell. They're really into their incense.
He
And
just
so
wants
no,
some nag shampoo, you know?
yeah.
they don't sell
Uh,
just incense.
So I pick one up, I gesture to it, and I buy it. And then right in front of them, I melt it all the way down in an instant and turn it into a Feywild like crow, raven.
Ravenna's
He
really gonna
goes,
get himself in trouble one of these days.
he goes, ah yes, the fountain of fire, a beautiful choice, one that you shall most likely. Oh my god, what are you doing? Oh no, you just. What have you? You
I like to think that the raven has like you can barely see it apart from when
Aura.
it reflects into the light, but like a little like flame pattern to the feathers, like etching or something due to being the fountain of fire.
It
They
smells
almost faint. They're like, oh my goodness.
like I
They come around.
just wanted incense.
Well,
They-
how
they say-
insensitive of you.
If you wanted any old incense, I would have suggested clear waters, not the Euphrates fountain. That thing is exceptionally spicy. I just want to warn you. And you
have
can
a spicy raven.
you have a spicy raven when you summon them. You can mark that down.
Oh, whenever it appears in like a puff of fire onto the shoulder.
That's
the-
kind of cool.
But
Yeah.
like with spice that just bursts off it. Like
I like to think that somehow, rather than being like from the Feywild, you've somehow managed to get one literally from the elemental plane of fire.
I mean, yeah, it was called the Euphrates fountain, so absolutely.
sure,
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
All right, nice,
Just,
sweet.
I just wanted incense.
Okay. Anyone else want to spend any cash whilst in the plaza? Nope. Okay. All right then. So you're all dressed and ready. Whilst you're here, Irina, the actual arena for the arena. Oh God.
You're doing it
Irina
too.
in the arena is actually quite close by. If you did want to stop by, you can hear probably just over the high walls the clanging of steel. You can hear loud thudding noises. Um, it doesn't sound like there's a battle going on because there's no cheering crowd, but you can definitely hear like some sparring taking place.
How long have we got left?
All right.
How much time have we got left?
How much time? You've still got a good hour or so, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna head towards the entrance.
Okay.
Is there like a reception desk, a help desk, a welcome desk? There's gotta be something.
Yes, there absolutely is. What do they call?
Desks.
Yeah, it's less of a desk and more of an open area where there are like benches. It looks like almost like a locker room. Um, and you can see there are people milling around. There are actually like weights as well. That people are like in the corners, kind of lifting. There are whetstones, and there are those big kind of sharpening wheels that people like. You can hear one person's like grinding an axe on it, sparks kind of flinging everywhere. But nonetheless, some of the guards approach you, and they're less guards and more like gladiatorial combatants who've just taken on the duty of making sure people don't just wander in. But they stop you, and they say, Are you here to fight or train?
Hi there. I am looking for Irina Salt. I have heard she is here.
Oh, she is. She's in the actual arena itself, sparring with. Let me find his name. They're sparring with Crusher right now.
Pressure.
Alright.
But feel free to head on in.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Just
All right.
be warned, you might be going into a battle zone. But the portcullis is already open. You can actually go. You can actually see from the kind of training room or the prep room straight through the tunnel and into the arena itself. And you can actually see there is a muscle-bound Earth Genasi with a great maul, and he's swinging it around wildly. And whenever he misses, it thuds into the earth and creates an eruption of sand into the air. And the one nimbly dodging and evading all these shots is a small halfling, and it looks like she's got a short sword in hand, but she's not using it to actually stab at the guy. She's just using it to parry the enormous blows of these things. And at one point, when you can see he's like probably gasping for air, trying to catch his breath, this small halfling has hopped up on top of the mallet, which is like embedded a few inches into the earth. And she's sort of standing there, folding her arms. You're gonna have to be faster than that. Come on, actually try, actually make out you're going to hit me. I have healing magic, it's not gonna be a problem. And it looks like he's almost too out of breath to even reply. He's like, shakes it off. And then he suddenly sees you and tilts his head. Looks like
I'm
you have.
actually gonna-
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk through, kind of see that she's still busy at the moment, and I'm just gonna go over to sort of like the area where the like crowd would sit. I'm gonna hop the little wall, and I'm gonna sit in one of the chairs and just stick my feet up and wait, and just wave.
Sass.
Okay, cool. You hop up onto one of the areas here. Funny enough.
I'm like the closest to the ground that I can get, but I'm just kind of like, take your time. It's fine.
And funnily enough, you actually position yourself between two statues that are clearly labeled the Warlock and the Bard. And you've sat down and you wait for a potential opening between the two combatants. It looks like they were just in the middle of perhaps taking a break. And so after a few more swings, Crusher, he's going to do a couple swings right now. Let's showcase just what they're capable of. Because effectively, you're almost like scouting out the competition. Screw that. It's going to go reckless as well. So this is with advantage. So 24 to hit, 16 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, did you guys
what
come
do
in
you
with me?
see?
Like, have you come in with me, or?
See you guys.
I mean, depending on how long my shopping trip took, sure.
Alright.
Andy hasn't. She's probably back at the inn.
Yeah, you said she. Yeah. All right, cool. I assume I'm by myself then, unless Kashan is here. But
Okay. Alright, so just check something. Plus 2 AC, 17. Plus 5. Damn. Okay. So, yeah, you see her get literally. In the moment of distraction, she actually kind of turns to you and like double takes for a second. And that's when Crusher literally goes, lifting the maul off the ground that she's standing on, flinging her into the air. And she quickly brings herself down lightly with a featherfall spell. And as she lands, you can see she again seems to mock him and says, "What are you trying to do? if you're sending me upwards in the tornado arena, then maybe that would be effective. But not here, not while the winds are calm. Remember, this is the conflux arena. Use the elements. And he's like, "Ah." Effectively, she just used vicious mockery again. Let's see. Yeah, this is wisdom save. Da-da-da-da. He's like, "Ah." He just gets pissed off with this, charges forward, and brings a maul again towards her. Jeez. Thanks. You can see that she tries to bring up a shield spell, and he literally, as the name suggests, crushes straight through it, and you hear the shattering of arcane magic, and finally knocks her off onto her back. And she's like, coughing up the sand, using a cure wounds on herself to get her back up, mending the wounds. She's like, all right, that's enough training. Good job. You can retire. Crusher just steps over her body and makes his way back into the other side. After that, Irina dusts herself off and looks over towards you. Says, "Scouting out the competition, are we?"
No, not really. Just wanted a word. Friendly chat. I have no intention of taking part in this.
Then don't bother. She starts walking away. Not interested in chats unless it's setting up a fight.
All right, suit yourself. Fine. She doesn't want to chat. She doesn't want to chat. No loss on my part. It means I don't have to fight her.
Well, that conversation went quick.
Yeah.
She doesn't know you. She doesn't. Why? Who are you? Like, you don't seem to present yourself as anyone important, so she doesn't
Like, the
seem to
fact
care.
is that if she was part of the library, she'd just recognize my jacket. So
You never said you're wearing that. You said you were wearing.
no, I haven't changed
Well-
yet because they all went shopping.
You went to the sandcastle competition and
Well,
got
then
it like covered in.
I'm wearing the library's robes. She'd recognize that too.
And if
Either
anyone
way,
got
she's
covered in
recognised.
sand, if anyone got covered in sand and it was unrecognizable, I would have prestidigitated them.
Okay.
Like, I mean, if she walks
Cleanly.
away, then I'll just sort of, I'll
Yeah.
just get up and I'll start walking. It's, no skin off my back.
Also, you are up on the stands. Doesn't look like she did notice you. Roll an insight check.
Roll an insight check.
Yes, insight.
Yep, that went about as well as I thought it
Well,
would.
You don't notice that she hasn't noticed.
I get up and I
Fantastic.
start heading out then.
Unbelievable. Yep, she closes the portcullis behind her. If you actually wanted to talk to her, you can. You still can, but she is.
She's not interested in talking. She wants a fight. I'm not interested
Yeah,
in
she
fighting.
does.
I want to
Yeah,
chat.
right.
So,
Well, you're at an
we are
impasse
at an
then, aren't you?
impasse.
That conversation. If anything, we just avoided going around in circles. But there is
Exactly.
still a
That's
damn.
why I'm like, I'm not going to bother because otherwise we're going to go in circles for the next hour, and I'm not down for that. I got things to do,
Yep.
y'all.
Viseeeeer's to see.
I kind of, I'll start to head out, and what I'll do is I'll just sort of scribble my details on a little bit of paper and like the address for like Chad's Casino, because that's obviously where the sort of mansion is at the moment. And I'll just kind of leave it at the desk and just be like, if she decides she wants to talk, she can find me here. If she just wants to fight, I'm not interested. So if you can pass that along, great. If not, whatever.
You setting up a fight?
No. I literally hand him the bit of paper. I'm just like, these are my details. If she changes her mind and wants to
Uh-huh.
chat, this is where she can find me. If she wants to fight, don't bother.
Are you like a promoter?
No.
Oh, are you like
I'm a colleague. I am an
Oh,
old
so you are a
colleague.
fighter.
No. Not
A
everyone
colleague
that
of a-
comes in this building wants to fight.
I would like to fight.
Yes, they do. That's precisely the point of the arena. He kind of looks at you very confused.
I am not here to fight. This is just where she happens to be most of the time. I don't know where else
Because-
you expect me to go talk to her.
What, you don't want to just look up her address? That's a bit creepy.
Exactly why I came
That's personal
here.
information. Right.
Y'all are backwards here. I'm out of here. I'm just gonna put the information down on the desk and walk out. I'm done.
My
You people
favourite
are
part about
backwards
this.
as heck.
It's 2,000 gold to enter, by the way. Just
I'm
so you
not
know.
entering.
Bye then.
My
Bring
favorite
this individual.
My favorite part about this is every time we send someone to our address, we're sending them to a brothel.
No, I
Like-
sent
Oh,
them to
dear.
Chess Casino.
Which is a brothel.
It's half and half.
It's a brothelino.
Public knowledge that it's a brothel.
Yeah, that's kind of the underbelly of
I'm-
it.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not
funny
interested in
though.
fighting her, so if she doesn't want to talk, I'm out. Oh, leaving. I'm leaving my card and I'm leaving.
She's normally quite perceptive.
Are we
I'm
all there
surprised she
with
wrote
you?
hello. She was probably exhausted after the fight. She did just get bodied onto the ground and dusted herself off. She might have even been embarrassed. Oh yeah. But that happens.
Were we waiting
So we
outside?
go
for
around in
you?
circles otherwise. Second?
Were we waiting outside for you, or were we with you?
Well, like I did message asking if you came in with me, but you obviously you were on the phone, so
I would have done.
Okay, Kashan, because while you're here, what do you want to do in the arena? Anything?
So if Irina kind of slid her card across, I will too slide my card across. And say,
What is your card? No, you had a card.
it's just a bit of paper with an egg on it.
Well, except for exceptionally good combat called Kashan.
After Irina's left it, Kashan's kind of like stuck in the middle of this conversation, and after she leaves, it's like, I would like to fight.
Finally, yes, someone who gets it. All right. Name
Kashan?
and are you signing up for the party bout?
The party bout?
Indeed, yes. The Felidar sovereigns have issued a challenge. Anyone who can best them will earn the winnings of 7,300 gold pieces. But it's 2,000 gold up front, and then you can bring along up to 5 party members, 1 magic item each.
Is that kind of like a cheaper one-on-one? Like,
Up the
There's
five?
sparring. You can come here and spar all you like. That's not a problem. But there's no real money involved, because a crowd isn't going to be drawn in by a single one-on-one.
what
There's
if,
nothing at stake.
what if there's promise for big things to happen during the 1v1?
What? Sorry, what do you mean, big things?
Well, I mean, I'm going to beat them up big time.
Right. But one-on-ones have been done over and over in the past. They don't have as much spectacle as the flinging spells and the dynamic combat between different
You
combatants.
bore me with these spells.
Yeah.
Where's the real fighting?
Yeah.
Oh, the fight is just as entertaining when you have many different combatants clashing together. But what we don't want is 2 sandbags hitting each other like, your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. Oh, one's dropped. How about that? We know what brings in a crowd, and it's not 1v1s.
I take my
Ca-
card
ca-
and I leave.
Before he goes, can Karis turn up and just say, I do have an idea. What if he made it a gauntlet challenge? So he fights each member of the Faaaaar Sovereigns one after the other without a rest in between.
Why didn't you say? We do crew battles. A crew battle is a series where you have 5 combatants versus 5 combatants, but it's only one-on-one at a time. Then you tap out when you want to bring in your next ally.
I mean, because Llewellyn and myself were also up for it, so does it have to be 5 or could 3 do it?
The Faaaaar Sovereigns praise themselves on being a team. They use their coordinated efforts and their balance of elements to beat their opponents. It's their greatest strength.
We have a chat. Or a
I
year.
mean, we could. I
What
don't think we
was-
want to get Urian involved.
What
Yeah,
was
just
again,
the...
We'll have a
what
The
was
more
dragon.
the more names.
I didn't realise you
more-
were here as well, Lavelle. What was the Windy Boy's name?
Agnes is here,
the
so-
champion of...
Well, I think.
The other thing is, a one-on-one does not last long enough for it to be a spectacle. It's literally like you sat down, and then 12 seconds later, it's over.
But I thought that was exactly what a fight was meant to be. It was meant to be a show of might. If
It is.
this...
But in order to keep the crowd entertained for long enough, it needs to at least have multiple people.
What if I just took on 3 of them by myself?
You can do that, but there'll be 5 of them, not 3.
Oh, that's a bit outnumbered.
Well, as I said, Kashan, I mean, Llewellyn sounded up for it, I'm up for it, so what if us 3 versus those 5?
But the last thing I want to do... Ah, no, I'm out. The last thing I want to do is go into a fight where spells are slinging left, right, and centre. I wanted a fair fight. I wanted to challenge the person, because I thought Whirl fought on his own, but if it's literally just a group versus group, nah, I can't be asked for that.
If it makes you feel better, I could leave the spells and attack them with my hook. Oh wait, that's still the trouble. Never mind.
You know what? Karis is like,
You're standing in a city of Genasi. Magic is in their blood. The elements are what people want to see utilized. Even the conflict arena changes from element to element in the midst of combat. Variety is the spice of combat.
I have an idea that might make this appealing to you, Kashan, right? So with this crew battle, it's 1 versus 1, and then people tap out. So would the Faaaaar Sovereigns be up for that?
Indeed, yes.
Right, so
They'll do a
what if
crew
we-
battle or a 5-on-5.
What if we do that, Kashan, but you only fight Whirl? So we tap you in when Whirl comes up.
I mean,
That way
I
you can
just
have
want...
your one-on-one. I'll fight 2 of them. I'll fight the entire 5 of them if it sounds fun. I mean, it's a lot of money, but
You could give it a whirl.
You sold?
We...
do we have the money between us? That's the point. Is the crew battle any cheaper?
Yeah, but the winnings will be slimmer.
Though I suppose Chad did say he might sponsor us, so he might pay the money, and then it's Chad's like
You can-
chosen from the Faaaaar.
You can put in 1,000 gold, and I think the crew battle will be 1,000 gold entry, 3,500 gold winnings.
How's that sound, Kashan? Actually, right. We'll probably be back. We've got some meetings and stuff to do, but we're definitely considering it.
Free to think this through and come back after we've done stuff, Viseeeeer stuff, and
Yeah, and see if we got the money.
and monastery stuff, and see if I'm alive.
All right. Hope to see you bring the chaos
No idea.
to the conflux arena soon. May the sun bathe you. And you head out of the arena. I think there's a good time to go for a quick break.
Spice.
So we'll take 5, grab a drink, stretch our legs.
Yeah.
Okay, and we are back. So it is descending into evening. You guys have dressed up, and you're ready. You're probably getting hungry at this point as well, which is good
Yeah.
because a dinner is preparing
Hmm.
at Gaidea's palace itself.
Ooh.
Now, as you guys are all gathering in together, um, is it who is going to the actual palace itself?
It's up to Irina.
I think I was.
Right, Kirsty's having a coughing fit.
I mean, I'm willing to go.
You're right.
I know Andy has gone back to the inn. I don't want to take Uriune. Not only for
Okay.
his own safety, but because he attracts a lot of attention.
course.
But if the others want to come, they can come on their best behavior. I'm looking at you, Llewellyn.
Oh, good. You're looking at him.
Why it's me? What did I
Because
do?
it's you who causes trouble. You cause chaos no matter where you look.
Have pity on me. I'm going to turn to stone. I mean, what?
One of these days, you're
Okay.
going to get sucked into a vortex, get yourself in trouble, and we're going to be expected to save your ass again.
That sounds like a lot of foreshadowing.
Also accurate.
I'm just like feeling around like a mime. And because I'm looking for that fourth wall.
Look, you can come, but please, best behavior. This guy is a royal official. Okay, I can't stress that enough.
I mean, I've dealt with like nobles and stuff before. It's kind of part of the family business, so you know.
My father was a royal official. You know this, right?
Yeah, I do. Be
That
careful.
doesn't mean you've had a upbringing, does it? in
No.
royal- No.
I know how to act like a royal official.
Sorry,
Look,
I'm just
as
trying
I
to.
said, you can come, but please. Okay, let's put this another way. Don't embarrass me.
That's fine. You'll do that yourself. What?
Yeah, if I do it, it's fine. He's my friend. Kind of.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So best behavior. That includes you, Tackler.
So no illusionary griffins.
No.
Okay. Okay. No destruction. No anything like that.
No parade as we walk in announcing ourselves.
I don't have the spell create parade. However, I wish I had that spell. There should be a spell create parade.
I mean,
There should be. That would be quite fun.
with Major
imagine
Image at a high enough level.
I bet Chad could have create parade. I don't have major image today because I thought we were gonna do the arena. So again, I'd set myself ready to
Yeah.
shoot
I
stuff.
mean, no, mate, you'd need a lot of people with Major Image to get it working. I didn't realise that when you cast a spell using spells of 6th level or higher, it lasts until dispelled. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's why you need
Oh.
Elravan, because he was technically an illusion wizard.
Yeah. All right. As you're approaching the palace, then it's everyone but Iriyun, Andy,
Yeah.
and that's it. Okay. All right. And you've all dressed up. You've all kind of slipped into your fine clothing, and
Yeah.
got your pocket watch on show.
Yep.
You've most likely had either a haircut or done some form of makeup at least to
Yeah.
make yourselves as presentable as possible.
Yep. Carius knows how to do that. He was raised by his sisters.
Yeah, sense. As you're approaching the open area, that you can tell that there's like this massive courtyard in front of this rised, there's the huge tower itself. But is to make sure there's no buildings people can hop across and jump onto the top, potentially sneak through windows. There are guards on griffins flying overhead as well. In fact, one of them comes down and is a recognizable face.
Hey, there is
And
one. What's his name?
Oh.
Nashka, Rashka, whatever his name was.
Oh.
It was
God.
similar to the name of the town we were in.
Oh
it
God.
was, yeah.
He
We
tried.
called him Ross in the end.
Yeah, we
So
did.
Ross flies down. He says,
Oh no.
"See, you're approaching the Grand Palace. Are you permitted to enter, or do you have a meeting already?"
I show my little invitation.
Uh-huh.
For a guest.
Ah, had I known you as such esteemed individuals, I would have allowed you entry without the need of potentially a...
I did mention it to you. It's fine. You were too scared of ghosts to be worrying about
There was
that.
a lot of ghosts.
Yes.
There was ghosts. All right. I'll be sure to lead you in then. I'll give you a little escort. And they do actually... they stay on the ground, but they do walk along with the massive griffin. And yes, you're allowed to pet the griffin again. But
Yeah. I
the armored, feathered creature claws itself along the tiles and eventually up the stairs into the plaza itself. Number of guards are on duty. All of them are wearing, I believe, let me just check, because we've noted each of their color coordinated. They are wearing black silk with, actually no, hold on. Where's my, wrong one. They actually are, yeah. Okay. So they're wearing kind of like a black silk tunic, black called turban, and they have a gold trim to their uniform. And there is a gold band wrapped around their arm, signifying that these are indeed royal guards. And as you get closer, the population of them increases. And you can definitely tell this is highly guarded. If you were able to sneak in here, you would either have to be invisible or a master thief, because they are literally everywhere.
Ooh.
And of course, as you're led in, you show the invitation. There is another set of effectively barriers that bar you. They sit you down. There is actually a very nice reception area that you can lounging down on these large divans, which are like those lay down settees almost. But yeah,
Security
the pillows
increased.
are the. Hmm?
Has security increased since the last time I was here? Or is
It
this
has
standard?
actually. Yeah. No, you can see there seems to be a stricter guard on duty, and they seem to be much more regimented. Like they're not just patrolling haphazardly. There seems to be a coordinated patrol, so that there isn't a single moment when there is eyes on a doorway.
Noted.
As you're waiting here for about 5 minutes or so. You're eventually met by the Vizier's Vizier, effectively, at this point. They are finely dressed individual, but they are effectively here to vet you. And they say, right, we need to make sure you're well tuned in the manners of the palace. So I would like you to practice at least a bow. Show me that you can do a proper bow to the Vizier.
I
And
guess.
yeah, they ask you to literally practice a bow. As
I
as
will do
as
so.
crazy as it sounds, they are asking you to bow. Not to him, but as a practice.
Yeah.
I get to turn to face one of the others and literally do a bow.
I'm going
Okay.
to do the same bow that you just showed us, Chris, but with my hook hand.
Oh, yeah, like you
Thank
do
you
Because
it
I
with
for
the
can.
being here.
It's like just waving a hook around.
spin it round, like hit it and it spins and then. Uh,
Makes a rattling noise as it spins.
I love the fact that I lost a hand.
roll a performance check, everyone who's bowing. Just want to see if anyone royally screws up.
Please don't fail me.
I've
I
probably
get
done
the.
this before, right?
Carius should be better than that, but
That's not bad.
That's
I
That's
got
not
the
bad
best.
at all.
The
we
hook.
should,
Well,
The hook provides.
we should both be better than that. Arena, we both done this sort of thing before.
And just like I live.
Irina. Yes, so he says, "Ooh, far too sharp, far too quick. This needs to be a showing of respect, not a custom that is swiftly done and dealt with. And you are performing it
this
correctly,
guy
but
new.
you do it really sharply, as if like you've been through this motion so many times. You're just like, yeah, bow. You're like, he says, no, please take your time with this. Um, again, also your impeccable form there, Llewellyn. Yes, well done.
The hook provides.
Do the
Well
others
done
have?
indeed.
Do we try again?
Yeah, try
Yeah,
again.
just
You got to get it right.
Slightly better.
Slightly better, Irina. Ah, there we are. That's how I expect someone to approach the Vizier. Carries? Okay. By the third time, yeah. This one you take your time a little bit. You kind of get into an uncomfortable position and you kind of like hop slightly on the first one, but by the third time, you've got the bow down correctly. That's well done.
you couldn't
Now
tell
I
they're
see that
original.
you are all wearing the finest of garments here. Um, wait, Kashana, you're here, right? You're not here. Okay. Okay, just
Oh,
check.
hell no.
No,
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 no, Shan,
no
really?
problem. So you are wearing fine attire. Now, let's see. He looks across to all of you. What colors are you wearing, Irina?
I'm probably reds and blues. My scholar's
Blues.
robes are red and blue. Blue for the library, and then red for the fact that I'm a fire mage.
Blues are what the Vizier has chosen. So He kind
Ma-
of looks at
Hey,
you.
he
Hmm.
lives here. He can change.
Matching outfits. Can't have that at a
Roll a,
party.
roll a persuasion check, Irina.
What do you want me to do? Strip down to my skivvies and walk around?
I'm just saying that you're matching. That's all. And what a delight I'm sure it'll be for him.
Friends
Mhm.
match, don't they? Friends wear matching outfits.
Friends,
Fine.
yes. That's
As long as
precisely
I
it.
don't have
But
to
if
go
you
all the way back to the capital to change, it's fine.
no, 16's pretty good. He says, if it was one of the others, I would have to humbly request that you change. But we do have tunics on standby just in case.
Does that mean that I clash because I'm literally blue?
No, he doesn't bring up your damn skin. That's just
I think
That
that's
would
a
be-
little bit on the racist side,
that
as
would-
Kashan would say.
I just thought I'd check. Don't want to cause
that
any
would be
offense.
totally stepping out of line. Yeah.
There's a fine
Now
line.
that you have
Not to be.
properly practiced, I hope you all know proper table manners as well. Which forks to use and spoons for which meal? Yes.
Oh, I have this one. And I take out my hook and that modified fork that Carius' sister gave me. I plug that in.
He says, "Ah, I see.
You've seen the Viseeeeer.
What?
God damn it.
I
you
guess.
do know
Like
proper
being at
table manners, though, yeah?
Tabletop party.
Yes, I've done this whole meeting with nobles before. You know, Damsir
Yeah.
family probably heard of us. Kind of important.
Okay, yeah. So
family
you probably
stuff.
do know. Irina, do you actually know proper table manners? Does Irina know?
I've been trained, so obviously considering
Okay.
the King's Mage was my mentor, Malone,
Alright.
I've dined here before, it's fine.
Okay. In that case, then
I'm sure I
Llewellyn,
can.
The
I think you're the only
spoon.
one who needs to convince him that this fork attachment to your hook is presentable enough. So you can
Yes.
either roll a deception check to say, yes, I do know how to do table manners, or you can just roll a persuasion check to say, hey, look, I've got a hook. It's gonna be hard for me. It's up to you.
This has been specially crafted for my handicap. Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah. That's
Just
right.
like
15. Okay.
Just like the spoon goes in soup, the fork goes in solids. Sometimes I use a knife.
We'll have to make an exception for this particular circumstance. But it
Okay,
seems you are
fine,
all ready.
okay.
The guards shall lead you in. And as you can see, these are the guards. Once again, the black silks and gold trim. They are wielding weapons, and these are the final ones that stop you and say, please relinquish all weapons. You're not permitted to enter with the weapons or spell books, arcane focuses, or component pouches.
Oh, so weapons, any weapon.
Karis can sit. To be honest, all right. Karis is like, right, just a sec. This glaive, that glaive, this crossbow. Got the daggers from my boots. Crystal. That's focus. Think
They are
that's
effectively going to
everything.
pat you down,
Yeah.
and they are also going to search extra for hidden weapons as well, any hidden daggers and
Yeah.
such. They do find
Okay,
your book. Yeah,
Just-
sorry. Your scabbard would be detained as well.
My question. Yeah, no, my question is how far away it's going to be held from me.
This is the. Okay, so you're already deep within the palace at this point already. You're not just going to be. It's not like they're going to be chucked out on the outside. There is very clearly defined weapon racks outside of the inner palace, effectively. But you
What
are
I need to know
under
is
roof.
obviously if Candlewick is going to still be in the vicinity of me, or if I'm going to start feeling side effects if he's not with me.
He's going to be a floor below you,
Oh, it's like that.
so no more than 50 feet away from you, potentially.
So I feel like it's going to be safe for me to hand him over.
Yeah, you wouldn't be too far, and you can easily trace back the route to get back there, but
Yeah.
that's only in the case of an emergency. But you can see there are plenty of guards
Yeah.
around.
Just like
If there was any trouble, they'd be the ones. They'd say this is for your own protection as well.
Yeah.
But
I mean, my protection would be having this with me, but considering you take it away from me, I start getting very sick very quickly.
he raises an eyebrow.
yeah, the same kind of applies to my book.
Like, I will hand it over if I have no choice, but be aware my etiquette is going to go down the toilet eventually. I
Very
don't
well.
think you really want your guests passing out on the floor.
There is a break between the meal. You can return to it perhaps then.
All right, I'll
In the
hand it over.
meantime,
But
there is
obviously,
no.
if I
There
start
are
feeling iffy, I'm having words with the Viseeeeer.
either way. There are no exceptions for weapons
So I mean,
in
I'm
the
handing it over.
presence of
It's
the
fine.
Vizier.
But
Yeah.
All right. They ask for your arcane focus and component pouches as well, if you have them, and you're effectively stripped right back down to just your clothing, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Carius is gonna like take his bag off, like put everything in it, like strap it to his glaive, one of his glaives, strap the other glaive to that glaive, then put those on the rack.
All right.
Everything is just in the bag
And-
of holding for me.
Yeah. Because,
yeah, but I'm keeping obviously the gift.
All right. There are two guards. Yeah, they do check the gift over as well. And in fact, one of the guards comes over. He's wearing a different colored tunic. It's similar to the one that you saw at the docks. And he's got like a blue robe, but he does cast detect magic over it. And it was. Did it have
Continual flame.
ever burning? It had flame on it, didn't it?
Continual
Yeah.
flame. Yeah.
Okay. They do ask you to open it up and check it as well, and he casts identify.
Destroy the wrapping paper. It's fine. They only paid extra
Well,
for
you
it.
should hope. I'm
It's fine.
sorry
I'm just
there are no
winding them up at this
exceptions.
point.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just winding
Does
them
he-
up at this
They
point.
do just seem to like brush it off. Anyway, this is the guard that kind of identifies it. Okay. Shut
Does
up,
he-
Facebook.
Does he take my book?
Takes your
Yes.
book.
Oh my god! What's his thoughts on that?
He's definitely disturbed by it. He's like shocked eyes underneath his mask. He'd probably cast identify on it himself, and
Just watch how it gets a bit, feels it, and then one of the tentacles just flops over it onto his hand.
they have definitely placed that in a more secure place than just a weapon rack. That's for sure.
They put it inside a box
And-
and then
okay.
inside another box inside another box.
Then they mailed that box to themselves.
Exactly.
And then when it arrives, they'll smash it with a hammer.
Yeah.
Finally, after all the vetting is done and all of those entryways, finally you are allowed entry, and you're escorted by these two guards themselves into the what you would expect it to be the dining room, but you do actually see the dining room is laid out and everything. There are knives and forks and plates and wine glasses, and you're looking around, waiting for the vizier, and he comes out flanked by his own guard as well. And this one is different from the others, whereas the others are kind of wearing more silks and loose fitted clothing. This guy is wearing full plate armor. It is clad in, yeah, like spolders, chest plate, greaves, everything, the lot. There is a shield strapped to his back, as well as a great sword. There's a long sword sheath to his side. There is just there's this guy's clearly armored, and you can imagine this guy would be swelteringly hot. You haven't seen anyone else wearing plate armor up to this point, but this guy is, and he's got a full helmet on as well.
Ooh.
Underneath the helmet, you can potentially see there's like a long blonde hair trailing down the back as well, and he kind of exchanges a few words with the vizier and says, like, are you going to be okay from here? You're safe. Do you need any more assistance? And he kind of nods and gestures them away. And the vizier turns, finally lets out like a sigh of release as if all of that has been dealt with for his own safety. And with open arms, he gestures towards you guys and says, welcome, welcome. Finally, it is good to meet the adventurers who have been gracing Guidia with their presence. You're the Chiastas, I hear now. Is that correct?
Yes, minus a couple of our members who are off doing a few things. They send their regrets, but they could not be here this evening.
Huh.
We're working on
No
something
worries.
very important.
He does a little head count. Well, in that case, if there's only 3 of you, why don't we take this to my own quarters? More company, more comfort. We don't need all this space here. Plus, there's a warm fire.
How far away is
He
that?
clicks through that door. Come.
Okay, that's fine.
No need sitting at this long table. I'll have to be shouting the whole way. Come on. And he gestures to some of the servants, and they begin picking up the plates, the forks, the glasses. Come, come. Don't be shy. This is, trust me, much more comfortable. The seats are better as well. And
You should know
yeah,
me
you're
well
led
enough
in.
by now that this fanciness is a bit extreme.
It is. I apologize for all the necessities, but it is normal palace conduct. But fear not, this will feel much more home. And there is a couple of looks from the guards, like, "Are you sure?" And he says, "Of course I'm sure. Come, come. These are friends. Let's not treat them like business partners." And as he walks away, you see that he is dressed in fine white silks with a kind of like blue turban. There's white feathers protruding from his hat. He is the epitome of opulence. 100%. He is actually garbed with kind of this gold sash and gold like gauntlets. But that Shamshir by his side isn't actually there. He's not equipped with any weapons by the looks.
Or is that the
The
vizier?
guards are. That is the vizier, yeah. He's actually
As we go
very
into
young.
this As we go into this
Yeah.
other room, how many guards are around?
There are 2 that are side by side with him,
How close to them are they?
within 5 feet of
Are
him.
they literally side by side? Okay, cool.
Yeah. In fact, can you see the map?
Nope.
No.
Black for me.
Okay, let me drag your tokens on.
I do turn to Irene. I'm just like, and his personal assistant thought that you would clash with him. I'm literally wearing white and gold.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like
A
what?
little costume change at the end, perhaps. True.
Like,
Where is Llewellyn?
thought there was gonna be more blue to that.
Yeah, so did I actually. But it seems the assistant was misinformed. Carius as well, you're here.
Yep.
Okay, can everyone see the map,
Yeah.
including you, Ben? Okay, cool. The armor-clad individual does not seem to be accompanying him anymore. Seems like he just exchanged a few words and that was it. He opens the door for you, and you're led inside into a much more homely location. This is clearly his own quarters. There are potted plants. There are pictures hanging on the wall of beautiful exotic destinations. You can actually even see his bedroom is part of like this this whole chamber, uh, and there is a small fire crackling. But not that you need any probably heat in here. But nonetheless, he's
I don't
and this
know. I
instead
don't
of it
have
being a
candle
long,
wick. I'm going to be very cold.
yeah, true.
Oh,
Instead of it being a long table with like a high chair, this is a round table with much more kind of comfort looking chairs with pillows and such. But yeah, he leads you in. Don't be shy. Take a seat.
I'm gonna
Take
start
a seat.
feeling nauseous.
Sit down. Your meal will be brought along soon. In the meantime, is there anything I can get you? Wine,
It's pause, by the way, Chris.
more pillows.
Yeah, there we go.
I will take a glass of wine. I think
It
I'm
up.
going to need it.
And the servant goes to get it for him. He says, No. I wish to serve them myself in this." And he shoos away some of the servants. In fact, once you have brought the food, you are free to go back into the palace. These are my guests. I shall see to them myself. And yeah, he pours you all a nice glass of wine and sits in between you, Carius, and Irina, and says, "So, what tales from Midra across the pond?"
Before that, you grew a mustache, and I literally reach over and I like tweak his mustache.
Ah,
9
yeah, it is
years
a
and
bit
you
of
grow
a
a mustache. Look at this.
stubble.
Karis just looks at them, just like, "And you said for us to be on our best behavior."
Yeah.
We're friends. It's different. Oh, you
We
were so
have
baby faced. What happened?
this job ages you, Irina. It ages you a lot. That is why it is enjoyable to sit down and relax for once. This is an enjoyable meeting, not one that stresses me out.
Right,
Your
well, this is Carius. This
Hello.
is Llewellyn.
Hello.
They're good friends. You can trust them. So, you know, feel free to
and
relax.
Thought, technically.
and my name, you can simply call me Kadir.
Vizier?
Kadir
the
the Vizier.
I know, right?
Yes, the gods joke about it all.
Because
Too
too similar to Andy's mum's name.
Spelled the same
Yeah,
way too.
except it's spelled with a Q instead.
No, that was spelt with a Q.
Was
Right,
it?
spelled the same.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kadira and Kadir? How bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, secretly
Might
long
change.
lost
You picked them.
siblings.
Yeah, didn't I?
As
Oh yeah, Kadira. Kadir. How did I miss that? It's like a
No.
letter difference.
As a side note, I'm also here, I suppose, representing the Damsir family. I'm not here on business, but you know, if you want to talk about any of that, that's fine.
I'm here representing myself and Irina.
I represent myself.
Like, well, I'm your. I forgot what you titled me.
Llewellyn
Your
is
friend
the
of-
son of the King's Mage, who I am apprenticed to.
You are
Yeah.
friends of Irina. That means you are friends of mine. You no need to represent anything. There is no expectations here. Please, loosen up. Have some wine.
Sure, why not? Why not, in fact?
Now, I must ask, you're getting comfortable here? It's not too hot. This is the Claude Coast. I'm sure you're not familiar with it, Llewellyn. Is there
Yeah,
anything I can?
I'm more from like snowy forests, but if it gets too hot, we can just stick the hut down. That's fine.
Sure, I can make you more comfortable. And he does chisel his fingers in the air, and you see that there is a small flickering flame that appears there. And he seems to gesture over towards the fireplace and like turns it down slightly. It looks like that actually is his own control bonfire that he is operating. And yeah, he's doing so without the need of verbal or somatic components as well, by the looks. Well, somatic is, but not verbal. He's doing it without verbal. If it gets too cold, Arena, I turn it back up. No problem.
Huh.
Now, yes, the Cloud Coast has many ongoing politics and such going on right now, but that is not why I asked you to come. I have questions for you, particularly
Mhm.
you, Irina.
Oh dear.
The last time we met, Malone, she was accompanying you. Where is she?
This is the reason I have come. Also, how do I put this? The tale is going to sound a little bit unbelievable, but being a magic user yourself, and I will assume that the Sultan has indulged you in certain information. As you know, the last time I was
Am I
here,
going to need more wine?
probably.
Right. Yeah, he brings over a glass to himself, sets it down. Begin.
I give him the basic rundown of obviously the being here the last time. Obviously, Malone going to speak to the Sultan, requesting the boat, us going back to the capital, and I like literally tell him most of what has happened. And then obviously, I got out not that long ago of the capital. I don't know how, and I cannot find Malone. It seems to be that she has gone to a point in time.
He
And
takes
has
a
kind of
long
anchored
sip.
herself there.
He takes a long chug as you mention that you escaped. And then pours himself some more wine. You escaped?
Well, I assume so. I got out.
You actually went into that place. More
Yes,
wine.
against Malone's wishes,
You-
but yes, I did.
He seems to be confused and shaking his head slightly.
What do you know?
That is not possible.
It bloody is. I lived it.
I don't disbelieve you, Irina, but
You literally
Everything
just
we
said
have-
it's impossible.
everything we have seen and tested ourselves has proven that anyone who goes inside does not come back out.
I mean,
Okay.
We have heard the reports from the wizards in Thumbridge. Disturbing reports. The magic there is warped, twisted. Does not obey the normal laws of the weave.
I am aware. The city of Weep itself lost all magic. There was some sort of barrier,
The
and
trading
it
here as well.
was-
Everything changed dramatically. A city that large means the rest of the world had to adapt. We have long stood as a trading company here, just between the two nations. But to hear them suddenly wiped off the face of the map, it begged belief. We had to see it ourselves. I sent envoys. I sent my greatest sorcerers to investigate. They dared not enter into that place. But it seemed someone had to. And if you're saying that you came back, perhaps there is still a chance for the others,
Counts as
all of
what I'm
those souls that
counting
are
on.
potentially trapped. What do you
My
remember
entire...
firstly?
What do I remember of my escape? To be honest, not much.
Hmm.
I went in after a friend against Malone's wishes. I don't regret it, but everything that happened in there is so jumbled and patches are hazy and some things just don't make sense.
He
I
stands
just
up and
remember waking up outside.
yeah,
I just remember
he
waking up
stands up
outside.
and opens these doors open. He seems to head into a smaller library. He's still holding his wine glass, and he brings out what looks to be a large book, and kind of thumps it onto the table. He flicks through a couple of pages, reads a line or two, and then looks up and says, "How long were you in there for?" According to your record.
According to my record.
According
And then,
to
how
what you
long
remember. Yes.
How long was I in there? I know I was gone for 9 years, but I don't know estimate wise how
It
long I was
did not
actually.
feel like that, for sure.
No, I know it
You were
didn't,
in there
but
for,
like,
yeah.
like maybe a week.
If
I
it's,
don't know.
hmm,
A week, a few
this
days.
seems
I don't remember much.
this seems to match the reports. Others have experienced time dilation. I apologize for all these questions. I'm simply trying to determine what this effect is.
That doesn't make sense. How have others reported time dilation if no one has made it out?
Being near the shattered city,
Oh,
there is this strange opalescent glass surrounding it like a dome, but it is not a clear dome. It is one that is fragmented. The deeper you get, the more strange things you begin to encounter, such as these time dilations, these wild magic effects.
that's good to know.
It is almost as if time is slowed down, whilst the rest of the world continues at its normal pace.
We need to know what Malone did, and in order to understand that, I need to have either a conversation with the Sultan or I need you to talk to him for me. I need to know what they
course.
discussed. I'm going to be heading to the dry oasis at some point soon because I need to go to Malone's residence and hope that there's still something left there. Because if we're going to fix this, I need to know what she's done.
This here is, he points to the book, is actually such a report on the findings. But I believe Malone must have discussed plenty with the Sultan themselves, discussing these strange magics. Um, I have, of
I
course,
am not.
spoke with him. Hmm?
I am obviously not the head of my order, but currently, all you've got, and that's not a lot, but there is no one of higher
It is-
station at the moment that can have this conversation. I need to know.
It's a miracle that you are alive, Arena. And he raises a glass and he toasts. I toast to your survival. You are the only one in existence, perhaps, right now, that has escaped that place. I do not know how, but perhaps you are the only one who can solve this, Irina. In which case, we have all we need right here in front of us. I believe in you, is what I'm saying. We'll fix this. We'll get to the bottom of this. For now, please eat. And I will discuss with the Sultan himself where to go forwards from here. But I can tell you what he has told me. And that is he believes it is some sort of wild magic that has taken the Shattered City. It is potentially some sort of anomaly.
I mean, Llewellyn, didn't you say you were there when the Shattered City shattered? Like, just
I was-
beforehand?
I mean, I was there when the dragons attacked. The ones that Irene and now say are of a Shadowfellian nature.
I don't know.
The other thing is
we'll
that
kill you.
obviously that ties into your sort of the time dilation theory and the wild magic is that there is a man in Weep who traveled with Llewellyn and such, who, crazy as it sounds, Llewellyn and this person were in a similar place, but along two different timelines, it seemed. So Llewellyn's recollection of accounts compared to mine could be off because of this situation. Llewellyn says he saw a certain type of dragon, but the ones that I saw were different. Therefore, we don't know what actually in this reality has happened.
There's nothing to say that this shattered nature hasn't turned them into what you saw.
Or,
Exactly. So we don't know what cause and
But-
effect. It could be like wild magic is totally random. It's
yes.
we
I-
cannot predict it.
I mean,
I will let you know though that the dragons that attacked were the gold dragons of Bahamut. That were in the capital city were the gold dragons of Bahamut trying to defend the city when this happened.
You saw it with your own eyes?
The gold dragons gave me a lift up to the spire to my father.
Where
Yeah.
did you go from there? How did you not get caught in the anomaly?
Myself and a few others were portaled out at the last minute.
Teleport.
My
Good
father
as they-
kind of wanted to keep me and those I cared about safe.
Of course. The teleportation circles within the mage tower.
Yeah.
Do you believe them do you believe they are still active?
It's possible. I can imagine that he would have defended them with his life and the tower and, well, the capital city as much as he could.
I mean, if anywhere's, I suppose there's two ways it could go. Either a highly magical place like the Spire would either be the place that was hit hardest with a wild magic surge, or was hit the least because of its magical nature. If it's the
Is
latter,
that from what I can remember from being in there is everything has kind of moved around. Everything is in different places.
Oh god.
The interior city is literally shattered. If any of them are intact, then getting to them would be difficult. We'd have seen some activity by now.
Unless would I have remembered any of the runes?
don't you have the keen mind feat?
I
Or am
don't have keen
misremembering?
mind.
For some
But,
reason, I thought
but
you did.
I would have watched him create a portal to here and there as each one went through.
Roll a intelligence check, Novelin.
Is that not Arcana?
If
It's
anything,
kind
it'd
of
be history,
remembering.
I
Yeah.
suppose. But yeah,
You're just trying to remember.
Oh,
Okay.
damn, that would
So
be
it takes time to study a mage circle. In fact, as per the actual spell magic circle.
That would have been so
It
useful.
says, um, da, da, da. And that's not magic circle. I'm talking about teleportation. So teleport.
Yeah.
I mean,
Could-
even if you don't remember Llewellyn, I would imagine that. I mean, I could be wrong, but there would probably be at least some record of it somewhere in case, for example, a dignitary like yourself wanted to teleport all the way to
Yeah,
the
of
capital.
course.
So
But for security reasons, they don't just give it out to any old mage because
Yeah,
you could teleport right into the King's Mage's tower.
of course.
But it-
But
it's an
We
option.
have
You not
we have such
tried
teleportation.
it?
Sorry,
Have you not already tried this?
we have teleportation circles ourselves here, but we do not know the teleportation circle within Midra's capital.
Yeah, that's what we were saying though. If you wanted to visit Midra, how would you do that? Would you travel normally, or would you not just teleport there?
Normally, whenever we are going between, it is to trade goods, which means we would trade via ship. There is no need to
It-
teleport ahead of time.
It's not polite to use a teleportation circle without prior notice. Why do you think I took a boat all the way here? It would have been a fast teleport.
I
But-
mean,
Not to mention, most of our dealings with Midra have been trade, which means heavy crates and goods, which you can't always fit through a teleportation circle. But if there is someone who knows, it would likely be the Wizards of Thumbridge. Perhaps they have one such teleportation circle.
Or Terrig.
Technically, would
Terry
I
would-
know?
That's a fair point.
Would I technically know that if it's in the Mage's Tower?
But you never. Hmm.
Roll an intelligence check.
Malone would definitely know, and so did this King's Mage. But it wasn't likely that every single student would have been given access to the teleportation circles to
Well,
avoid.
I was not any student.
Fanatic.
I was their student specifically.
Do you know
He
who?
was.
Do you know who?
I'll tell you that. I'll tell you this. You definitely know, probably, that you could acquire that information. But I'm not going to say you do have it, but you do know how to
That's fine.
acquire it, and it's literally as you've just been kind of told. You could get access to it from the Wizards in Thumbridge, or there is Terrig, it seems.
There is Terrig, and I do mention this,
Who is this Terrig?
and I pull out the compass.
Well, the compass is in your bag, which has been confiscated, but you can absolutely go fetch it, and one of my guards will fetch it for you.
Because this is a
Um,
guy who worked there before Malone, and therefore he
was, as far as we can tell, Terrig was Malone's teacher.
and therefore he would
Before
know.
Which
he
means he has
was
vast more knowledge than she does.
before he was exiled. That is from
So he
the tower.
I
He
don't
definitely
mention
would
that. I'd literally just say he was Malone's teacher. I don't say he was exiled.
Gotcha. Okay. Then you're escorted out. You're allowed to retrieve the compass and bring it in. You place it on the table and open it up. And immediately you start to see the coordination of the small streams of magic knitting together and spinning. And it begins to turn and it points in a westerly direction.
westerly.
West, yes. And then it also tilts slightly up as well and goes an incline like this.
Northwest.
Not northwest.
No, like
There are
one of
okay, so the compass is not a normal compass. Let me
Yeah.
just grab the image for it.
one is is like directions. Another one is like a time. because
Here we go.
his tower doesn't stay in place.
You see the image? Okay.
Yeah.
So the compass, it tells you where it is directionally. It tells you where it is altitude-wise, and it has other properties that also tell you at what time it is as well. Because there is literally like some sort of sundial on here. And Llewellyn, you witness that it is currently pointing west and up.
So west and somewhere in the sky. Unless that's
It's not like pointing like this, is it?
Yeah.
It's kind of at a slant.
in the
Little
mountains.
baby up a mountain.
That wizard tower. The wizard tower that you all laughed at me about.
Uh,
I mean, the mirage you saw.
yeah, there wasn't a wizard's tower. None of us saw it.
But I did.
All right, we can check that out.
I mean, this Terran guy, he sounds like. Actually, west might make sense as well because it might be with this Terran guy that my dad trained, possibly.
Which would make sense because your dad did. Keep getting mocked for a tower that I definitely saw. But yeah. But this place.
There is a time on it as well. I mentioned it tells you the x and y coordinates, as well as the compass coordinates, and finally there is a sundial on it, or effectively what looks to be some sort of measurement of time. And to read it, Llewellyn, I'd like you to make an Arcana check.
I'm gonna try and read it again. I'll try and read it again. 19. With Irina's help. No, I'm kidding.
You want to?
No.
It's the first time Irina's seen something like this, though.
That's true.
Can I get a good look
And
at it?
you can, yeah, if you want.
Like, I'm just curious as to what this is the first time I've seen this.
So the very basic version of it is it's a compass. It tells you, like I say, not just coordinates in on a map, but coordinates in space and time as well. And you can roll an
Okay.
Arcana check to see if you can decipher those coordinates.
Arcana.
18. Okay. You can read a little bit closer measurements that it seems to be pointing in a west and slightly south direction. So not directly due west, but slightly southwest. And there is the incline to it that slightly tilts upwards, which means it must be high up. At the time one, both of you are struggling to decipher the final coordinate, which is time. And probably because of the first time you've ever seen it. The first time you brought it out, the Velen, you probably didn't even notice that this was lighting up and that it was telling you a specific time, meaning that you can guess that the first time you pulled it out, it was in present time. Now, it's giving you a reading that you don't know what it is, but you can guess it isn't present.
Oh.
So
That's it. That's all I can tell you with a 19 and 18.
Harrius, do you want to get in on this?
I mean,
Viseeeeer?
I mean, technically, I've done navigation and stuff, and a lot of that actually uses time. So I suppose that actually makes sense in a weird way, because obviously, like watches and stuff are used for like part of ship navigation. And
What
things.
Okay.
And what does the Vizier
you
think about this?
I'm not proficient in Arcana. I'm
Not
proficient in
proficient in
survival.
Llewellyn,
And
you
nature.
said that this guy
This is only
gave
Arcana.
you this?
You can
Carius
roll
gave
it.
you
You can
this.
roll it, Carius, but you're shooting in the dark a little bit.
Well, not
No, you
This-
don't know.
not this one specifically, but it was similar. And
Okay,
he
but
said for
it's
me to
That was amazing.
find
Yep.
this tower if I want to learn more. And then someone stole the original, and I had to find this one.
Okay, but that's an alternate timeline, so technically it's the exact same compass. It was just given to somebody else, but for the same
Yes,
reasons,
and they
in theory. So, judging from that, he's saying if you go to the tower, in theory, it's maybe forward in time because it's expecting you to be there in future.
maybe.
Maybe it's kind of like a countdown of some sort, so it will exist there in 5
In
days'
5
time.
days.
I like how we
Yeah.
both went for 5 days.
Maybe it's like that. A wizard is never late. He arrives exactly as he's supposed to.
That's what I mean. So maybe it's a case of, oh, okay, be here this time, this day, this place.
Yeah. So we just try and find the tower, and we arrive when we're supposed to. Maybe that's how it works.
I mean,
And then, of course, if we miss that day, it switches maybe to the past tense because we've missed that slot. I don't know. That's my
A
theory.
strange, a very strange item, indeed.
Seems stranger.
It's very wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Ah. Well, right now I'm interested in what you know of potentially any magic effects or wild surges that may have happened or been in the process of happening before you were teleported away. Why were the gold dragons attacking, defending?
This is a long story. Do you believe in legends
Of
and
course,
folk stories?
there are many legends, even in the Cloud Coast.
Have you ever heard of Baba Yaga and the hut, the dancing hut?
I have been informed of this powerful individual, the Mother of Bones.
Yes. I am a survivor of that hut. And at one point, the hut was in a place called Kester, where Emorian the Justice, I believe it was called.
Who the dragon, the gold dragon?
Yeah, Emorian.
Area. Yeah.
The I believe his dragon name was the Justice or some shit. Like
Yes, potentially. Yeah.
Yeah,
One of the 7 golden dragons of Bahamut.
Baba Yaga corrupted Emorian. And I tried to stop it.
Corrupted? In what way? What?
Uh,
Elaborate.
with corrupted gold, it gave what was it called? The Curse of Avarice.
Right, right. And this was attacking the other dragon.
No, this was fed to Emorian, and I tried to stop it as much as I could by locking him in his own vault.
Right.
But it caused him to seek out the capital, I assume, to feast upon the riches there.
So Baba Yaga is the one responsible for this.
Yes, and when I escaped the hut had teleported itself, because it can do that, to to the
Mithr's capital.
to the capital city, and that's where I last saw it
This is
on
no doubt all connected.
on the day of reckoning, the shattering.
I mean,
Shattering.
if the hut can teleport itself, it at least has some sort of spatial magic. So, and if someone as powerful as Baba Yaga can corrupt something as powerful as an ancient gold dragon, then that spatial magic, if that went wild,
This
that could
is
explain
valuable
both.
information.
But-
Up till now, our wizards and sorcerers have been in the dark, only guessing that potentially the king's mage may have done something reckless, or one of their students.
But-
No offense, Irina.
but-
But
yeah,
now we know that it is. Now we know it is Baba Yaga's at fault, or at least somewhat connected. We can narrow this down.
yeah. So the other dragons came to defend the capital from one of their own. And this, I don't know if you've heard of a tesseract before, but um, it's what created the time spatial dimension that is the hut itself.
Why didn't you tell me this earlier? This is exactly the. This is precisely what happened then. If it was something spatial or timing,
But
that
the
would explain the space around the Shattered City, and it would explain the time dilation.
yes,
Something has happened.
so the hut was imploding on itself. It was falling apart while I was inside it, and when I escaped, who knows what happens when
Yeah.
it fully collapses in on itself.
I mean, I obviously wasn't there, but didn't she turn like the Tesseract inside out or something?
Different timeline.
Uh,
You don't
Oh,
know
was
that.
that the
that
other
was-
timeline?
That was the original timeline. Yes,
Oh,
Uriah was
that's
the one.
confusing.
That was the horror timeline.
Uriah stole the power of Baba Yaga, tried to control the Tesseract, and rolled a natural one,
Yep.
and then set up the entire campaign, which we are in right now.
But
Because they
it's
rolled a natural one with the Tesseract.
But that was in the other timeline, not this
It
timeline.
was,
So none of us
but
know that.
who's to know what would have happened had there been no interference.
but it's strange though, because someone I met also went through the same thing, similar story, different outcomes, and they didn't have any issues with gold dragons or. But the what
their story ended with them killing Agatha Gristlegums.
they did, and I will say that.
Thus, in that case, they must have put a stop to whatever she was trying to achieve. In
Hopefully.
this timeline, you simply left, correct? Or
Ye-
escaped,
yes. If
meaning she was left to her own devices, used this tesseract for some unknowable purpose, and caused a wild magic surge on a scale that has never been seen before.
yeah, it's kind of we weren't aware of it happening until it happened, sadly. Otherwise, maybe we would have stayed to try and stop it.
Irina, you have been inside. You've seen this place, this city. Then potentially there are other survivors.
So
It is our duty to help our friends across the pond in liberating them, if possible. There are two ways of entry, it seems. Either we gather this teleportation circle, and we teleport into it, or we take the same approach you did, Irina, and push through the shards deeper into that maze of opalescent glass. But perhaps we are still in the dark. We need more information.
If
This
we,
Herrig, he is a master of time, yes?
yes, he was literally known as Terig the Time Wizard.
Then there is no doubt he will be able to help us. Or at least steer us in the right direction. I hate to put this upon you, Irina, and your company. But it seems Terek is already asked for your presence. Has already invited you. Perhaps take him up on that offer. And in return, solve this mystery of the Shattered City. There are many souls of that city that are at stake here.
Yeah,
I mean, we were gonna do that anyway, but sure.
yeah. And I look at Karis. I'm like, do we tell him what we're currently trying to do, or
See, I was thinking about that, and
it's like
considering
Speak with him. Do it.
considering we don't know that what we're trying to do will be successful or not, it is worth letting them know. Kadir, have you heard of something called the perfect storm? And no, not the beverage that the
I have.
hammers are working.
The clouds are already looming on the distance. Are in for quite a change of weather.
Yeah, you're also in, unless it can be stopped, for a blue dragon invasion.
He raises his eyebrows. What? No. The dragons are at bay. We have paid our tithe.
Unfortunately not. We have spoken with them ourselves and are currently in the process of trying to negotiate with them to get them to migrate to a new location far from the Clawed Coast, which will be more suitable for them. There'll be no threat. They won't have to fight the Sahuagin. They won't have to worry about pirates and such. Not that they really do, but it is. We have spoken with their eldest members, and we have also spoken with one of their youngest, and it is clear this is what they intend to do unless something is unless we are able to persuade them. And currently the only way that we have found that they will accept is the Star Sapphire.
You mean they mean to attack here?
They mean to, from my understanding, basically take back the Clawed Coast as their own.
Okay, so
particularly the southern part of the Clawed Coast near
Are
where my
you-
dad is.
are you deliberately trying to like deceive him, or are you just being a bit vague, trying to say
Well-
that hey, this could be a problem that you will have to deal with eventually?
I mean, I thought they were going for the whole Clawed Coast, or are they only going for the southernmost part?
They are just going for the. They have told you, yeah, they're going
Taking the
for.
fort.
Yeah,
But it is-
basically,
Yeah,
basically they're planning for the southernmost part, but I realise you've obviously got Rashkar, you've got
But then
where
what's
I'm from and other areas, but there's nothing stopping them in the future once if they're spreading, because essentially they're in like a brooding period, and I think they want a new place to
Indeed, more dragons is bad news for anyone.
exactly, and if they spread there, there's nothing stopping them spreading north in the future.
Yeah, acquiring this Star Sapphire is like a gesture of good faith, so they'll believe us that we're trying to help them.
Migrating them will only make it someone else's problem. But we have no option to
managed
fight
to
them.
The place where we have found is currently uninhabited, at least from our understanding.
As far as we know, yeah.
At least by sentient races such as humans, tieflings, etc. There's animals and stuff, I'm sure. One of
And have you
our
found this Star Sapphire?
we have a lead on it, but we don't know for certain if that lead will prove fruitful.
We are looking at other means. They like gems and things like that, so we're gathering what we can.
If we can find
Indeed,
a
we are aware.
sapphire,
We have already paid these dragons many times to stay away from the capital.
if we can find a sapphire or some sort, it seems sapphires in particular that would be of equivalent value or
I see. We have already set up early warning systems. It is why we use the griffins to see if they can spot any aerial assault. This is also where we positioned ourselves on the other side of the river. That way they cannot simply dig through without us noticing.
yes.
Now, if it comes to it, you let me know. Do not find the Star Sapphire. We'll have to find another means of payment. But that will be a conversation with the Sultan, whether he wishes to invest in keeping the south of the Clawed Coast alive.
I honestly hope he does kind of live there. Well,
I
My
assure you, if
family
it,
lived. My family lived there. I've technically been in the island kingdoms, but yeah, kind of don't
I have
live
a number
anywhere
of
at the moment.
personal guard under my wing, quite literally, because I have Griffin Riders. If it comes to it, I will post some of my own Griffin Riders there. That way they will at least be able to either assist in warning everyone of an evacuation, or potentially even dangers that might come.
Yes. I'm just
But it is
thinking.
the least I can do with this. It is the most I can do with my hands tied.
Yeah.
One thing we do need, I know you said it was a discussion for the Sultan, uh, potentially, but the Star Sapphire, as far as I understand its history, um, technically does belong to him. If we are going to do this, we need permission to keep hold of it if, by some miracle, we do find it.
He looks to the guards. Leave us for a moment. The guards step outside. He turns to you and says, "The Sultan, he holds his treasures dearly. Very dearly. Theft is punishable by death. But I am sure the dragons will argue that the Star Sapphire first belonged to them. Correct?
Most likely.
The
We
story
just-
is ancient, but
Yes,
I've heard
but
of it.
we do not want to be aggravating an entire race of dragons into attacking the Cloud Coast. What we need is for the Sultan to allow us to keep the sapphire if we do find it, to give to the dragons. We will do what we can to compensate him for this, but it is the only solution to this problem
Yeah.
that will not end in bloodshed.
there's compensation. He thinks to himself for a moment. It's almost better that he not know where it is at all.
That could work. What he
I
doesn't.
mean, if that is what you would prefer to go with, and you are okay with that.
I have sworn an oath.
How long
But-
has it been missing?
Star Sapphire. Hundreds of years, at least. It went between hands.
So
But
would he really miss something that's not been there for a hell of a long time?
So it wasn't actually in his treasury; it was in an ancestral treasury.
Depends what kind of sultan is.
it, when you have had it in your own line, when you own something for long enough, it is a delusion of the human mind to believe that it is yours. But it seems that all things, whether it be precious gems or gold, it all originally came from the elements. That is my belief, at least.
So if we find it, maybe don't mention it to the Sultan that we found it. Quietly give it to the dragons. No one's the wiser.
Do not even, he says, do not even tell me.
All right, done.
But I will send Griffin riders to, is it Carius or
Yeah. To
Damsey Port? I will send them.
yes. I'm just trying to think. At this point, considering we talked to the Vizier, it's quite friendly. Without mentioning why, do we want to bring up the topic of Andy's mother to find out what she stole and why?
I was waiting to subtly ask some questions.
Yeah, I thought
You're
I'd
kind of going
ask.
along that line, aren't you? I mean, he's already mentioned like the Sultan's treasures.
This is why
how
I'm
he
slowly getting
holds
to
them.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel like the conversation is veering that way.
I'm
If
just going
anything,
to,
now is the perfect time.
Yeah, I'm literally getting to it. It's a case of I'm gonna, at this point, pull out the little gift. I'm gonna put it down and just slide it across the table. Be like, that's just a little
Yush.
something.
Irina, ah, ah, I'm suddenly surprised. You did not need to get me a gift, but he unwraps it and sees them.
Consider it compensation for 9 years of missed birthdays.
These are fantastic. Perfect. And he actually attaches them. He actually admires them for like a good 30 seconds. He's admiring them. He definitely likes
That's
them.
good to see that you like them. There is one more thing that I'm just sort of curious about from a historian standpoint, but it's a bit of a sensitive, I don't know, a sensitive topic, but I've recently been following the antics of a particular historical figure who was known for acquiring certain magical items, and I'm just curious because there's not much information, and yet there are posters all around the city which are quite old, and this person seems to have just vanished. I was wondering if you maybe had information.
I need names, Irina. Who is
Oh
it?
yeah,
Who is it
like
of you?
I pull out like the wanted poster that I've been carrying around, and I just kind of sit it on the table and just like, Kadira, which is your name. She seems to be a bit of an anomaly, and I've taken an interest in her history. She's
His demeanor changes immediately as you pull out the poster. It goes from this kind of smiley, jovial person to very stern and almost like militant, kind of like stiffens his back as well, and picks up the paper and reads it like a document. This is a thief, one who has been giving me
yes,
quite the headache.
Yes, I'm aware that this is a thief. It's the story that interests me. What?
Why are you interested so much?
This person has literally vanished, and I want to know how it was done.
Yeah, do you not find mystery intriguing? Like you,
This doesn't make any sense. This person has literally disappeared, but everyone is outraged, and there's no explanation as to what she did or where she went.
Likely she is in hiding. The last known location was, as it happens, the Shattered City. We tracked them down all that way.
okay, but why
What's
did they
this?
try and escape?
He's gonna roll an insight check, real quick. They are a thief. Obviously, we have tried to bring back one of the Sultan's most prized possessions. They are known as the Sultan's thief. Not
All right.
one who works for them, but one who has thieved from them.
And what did they steal?
That is classified information.
Really? Oh, that's so boring.
The Sultan
whilst
keeps
it's
his treasures close to his chest. If everyone knew what he had, that would only attract more thieves.
Wouldn't clearly we're trustworthy, otherwise we wouldn't be here with the Vizier.
Roll a persuasion check, then.
Like, you know, I have an interest in this sort of thing.
This is.
It's a mystery, and I just want to know what happened.
Oh my god! I actually rolled good on the persuasion check.
Are you saying that you're willing to track them down? Is that right?
Potentially, if it's possible. I mean, could you imagine finding someone who's disappeared off the face of the earth
if we're gonna go into the do you keep calling it the
If we're
Shattered
going
City?
in there anyway.
Why not see what we can find? Maybe we can find them. Maybe they're stuck in there. And maybe they still have whatever was stolen. But we won't know to collect it if we see it, because obviously we need to know what it is.
Can you describe what it
He
looks like,
stands
even if
up.
we don't know exactly what it is?
He stands up and he has his back to you. He seems to be observing the fire and stares at it for a long, hard while. If you wish to join the ongoing investigation, then I can let you in. But I will have you know that this Kadira is wanted. Wanted alive or dead.
As evidenced by the wanted poster.
Are you willing to bring them in?
If we find them in the
I'm just in it for the story. I'm not about to go arresting people. That's not my job. I will leave that to you
And
and your people.
and I am sorry, Irina, but I cannot disclose the information unless you are part of the actual hunting party.
I'd be willing. If I can't bring them in, then maybe at least I can try and collect the treasure and bring it back.
Yeah, I mean, there's no guarantee we'll find them in the Shattered City, but we might find whatever they stole, and that's at least half the battle, right?
The only thing we need to know from Kadira is the location of it. We have confirmed that the treasure that was stolen was slipped under our nose shortly before arriving at the Shattered City. We know she does not have it.
So what if we come across this treasure on our travels outside the Shattered City and we don't know to bring it in because, again, it's classified?
Fine.
You see where the complication is here?
The complication is that not even we know what a treasure looks like.
Really?
Not anymore, no.
Wait, so it's something that can change?
Indeed.
Obviously, the fact is that I potentially need an audience with the Sultan anyway. Can I at least ask him if given an audience?
If it's something that can change, it's not a person, is it?
It is a person, yes.
So if we come across a person,
Then you will not recognize them.
and neither will you?
I mean, did they have any distinctive features,
Which is
birthmarks?
why we need Kadir to lure them out. Or at least find out the last known location.
You say this person was stolen? Kidnapped? How do you steal a person?
From the Sultan, yes.
So it's like
Is he-
a relative?
They were promised to them.
Oh.
Oh, I think.
Oh, everyone's faces just go.
Yeah, this is why I tried to get you guys to stop talking, but you.
I have said
Let
too
me s-
much. If you're not willing to join in the investigation, I cannot disclose more. I've already said too much.
Right. That's
I understand. Like this for me anyway, was purely just me trying to get the story. Unfortunately, these two are a little bit too nosy.
well.
It's a good mystery.
If you're looking for someone who might be willing to join the investigation, you could always ask my sister. She's kind of into the whole investigating thing. That's sort of her deal. Pretty good at it.
Yes, we'll likely have to comb the entire of the Cloud Coast, but
So
right
how,
now, what?
so how long did this thievery happen?
Roughly 19 years ago, or perhaps give or take.
Oh.
Is that right? Does that match up with Irina's age? I mean, Andy's age.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
Roughly that's.
Ah.
So so the person was stolen and they've aged 19 years. So we're looking for what, an old woman or
You're looking for someone who looks like a young Kadir,
so they were stolen as a baby.
very young. Correct.
Oh God.
Well, as when if we find anyone who matches that description, I suppose we can. But then again, it's been 19 years, so who knows?
If you bring them, there is a handsome reward.
How much
And
time?
I'm not talking in terms of gold. But you will have what is known as the Sultan's wish.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh,
Inside thought, is Andy worth a sultan's?
no,
No.
but that gives me even more ideas as to who the Sultan might be.
They
'Cause
will
I've got
grant
no
you
idea.
anything they can within their power.
Hmm.
I swear
for
to
doing
God,
this-
if Ember is the Sultan in this timeline,
Oh God, no! Please no!
the Sultan's wish.
Oh no! No!
What do you mean?
Because Cinder has the ring.
Ember,
Ember has the ring.
the Ring of Three Wishes.
Wait, isn't that game? Isn't he like the son of a sultan or something?
He's a noble.
Yep.
He's a noble. Oh my God.
I swear to God. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
And he'd
Right,
be.
well, I think on that bombshell, we'll actually have to call it time because we are a bit over. But if there are a little more information you want to ask, you can always ask me in the chat,
Yeah.
and I'll discuss. And anything like small that you wanted to talk about with the Sultan. But other than that, I think the evening will come likely to a close. And having enjoyed your meal and wine, and yeah, then there will be we'll be picking up from here actually when we come back. We won't just cut this short, but that effectively covers most of the conversation here in the Guardian Palace. So yeah, we'll end here. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye bye for now.
Bye bye. Bye. Help if I have
And-
Streamlabs open.
And join us Sunday for the Witch Hunters.
Yes, Witch Hunters, where you might meet an Ember Cymberborn, where you
Oh.
might actually cast a wish spell. Who knows? We'll see. That is it.
Alright.
Bye.
No worries.